It keeps... Okay.
There he goes.
Now it's...
Welcome to the what the fuck? Livestream.
Hi, everybody!
Welcome to the party, Twinks.
Whoa!
Hey, everyone.
I didn't know it was that kind of party.
Isn't here just yet. He had to step out. But welcome to the stream, everybody.
Hello, hi, everyone. Welcome. Hello,
Oh, hey, Markiplier. That's not normal.
Hello,
Anyway.
everybody. My name is Markiplier. Five Nights at Freddy's.
Good God. Welcome, everyone.
I was muted this whole time. I just realized.
Cat.
Hey, free young thug. We got a free little demon. Do not free young thug.
We're echoing. Why are we echoing?
Hello there.
Are we? Hold on.
So what I missed? Who was that?
Hello, I'm back. Oh, dear.
Someone here is echoing.
Okay. So,
Hello.
this was the poster. Why is it echoing?
Who muted Annie?
I think Annie muted Annie.
Not that. Anything but that.
Dude, why are we echoing?
All right,
Fix it. Hello.
Can't be me. Couldn't be me.
Fix my headphones on, so that's fine.
John. Hello, Yin with goggles. I want to take a bite out of you. What the fuck?
Good job.
That is gross. I'm taken. So, nope. Nuh-uh.
Well, everyone, while we're waiting on Vincent to return, what do we think of the movie?
It was good.
I didn't see it.
My favorite
You
part
people are useless.
My favorite part was when James influenced all over the place. I don't know. Didn't read it.
Oh, god damn.
Like-
Okay, well, let's ask the audience. What do
I
they
don't
think?
think I've seen it.
I'm getting a
Sorry,
few
I'm just really
peeks.
confused. I'm sorry.
Is
I
the
think
echo still
we're
there?
echoing to each other, but I don't think it's echoing in the stream. It's really confusing.
Well,
Well, it's not echoing on my end, so maybe
Same.
issue. Yeah.
Iggy Slime, I still need to actually finish Bad Influence. Oh, buddy, I don't think this is the place to be. We're
It's
going to be
not.
talking about a lot
You
of
not the house for
might want to
you.
leave, buddy. Not enough
We appreciate you
Yin
being
with
here,
Not
but I
enough-
don't
Get
think you want it
Ireland.
spoiled here.
I do say in the description of this very video that we're going to be talking about spoilers, so don't spoil it for yourself.
Yes, if you have not seen it in full, please, this is not the space.
There are
This is
a
not the
lot of
space.
people. There are a lot of people who are. Oh, sorry. There are a lot of people.
Well, well,
There's
anything.
at least two of them here.
All right.
At least two, and one
Will
of them.
this stream be archived? I don't know, Vincent. Will
I hope
it?
not.
It goes up automatically. It goes up automatically.
Slay. Okay.
YouTube, it just goes up automatically on YouTube.
There's a
so-
bomb strapped to my chest, and it will go off if I don't get to see Bad Influence.
How long is that bomb timed for?
Not long
What's the
enough.
time on that bomb?
If it took 6 years for the first one, I don't know how long the second one's gonna take to come out.
At
Well,
least
no, the
7.
question is not how long it will take to make another movie. It's how long it will take for the bomb to go off. Because I feel like that's more time sensitive.
There's a bomb strapped to my chest. Okay. When's the sequel? It better be tomorrow.
No.
You never know.
So what happened to
Oh.
Sir Hamlet? Did he just die? Did you watch the after credits scene?
Clearly
I
not.
mean, the mid credits scene?
I mean, it's in the credits.
It's somewhere there.
There are a lot
to
of
answer your
people-
question, I think it's ambiguous as to whether or not he died on Misty Island. I don't know.
They
Like,
cut him up for parts.
They can't abide.
Is the bomb unstoppable? That's a good question.
Like the train.
Are we just
Uh,
gonna talk about the bomb the whole time? Because I think that'd be
I
really
mean,
fun.
why not?
Sorry,
Why not?
I realized I was an idiot and I had the stream open in another tab, and that's
Oh,
why
girly.
I was
Boom.
You were
No.
echoing.
We're both echoing.
A
Everyone
lot of
should
the
Google
bad
it.
influence deleted scene I posted.
Dean, what did you do?
I'm terrified.
I'm
Nico,
scared.
no.
Wait, what's Nico doing?
never trust a Nico tweet.
They're
No,
There's a
not
reason I
just
have
games.
them muted.
What
Never
did they
trust Nico.
do?
Jesus
Nico,
Christ.
get the fuck out.
People are
Nico,
asking about the
gone out
timeline.
That
now.
was good.
Like dates
Okay,
and stuff for
all
the
right.
movie.
Door, I guarantee you.
No, that's just bad inf too, as we all know, because we all watched the post-credit scene. Because we all stuck around like good people.
Yeah.
All right, so
We've all definitely seen Act 3
Yeah.
at least thrice.
okay, so
No, you're
what we-
actually the bomb.
amazing.
Yes.
No, you're the Mad Bomber. Okay,
This
so
is the after party. This is the after party.
Yeah.
Vince, I
Yeah,
have
so we
a
have to ask
question.
all the same questions that were asked at the premiere.
Let's recreate the questions.
okay,
what
let's
was
start
your
with
Okay,
question?
this.
somebody
What was your question?
traumatized James really quickly.
What?
Start-
Somebody traumatized James. We'll get a scenario
That
up
was-
right now.
Okay, no.
Oh, so now you're not a method actor.
Are
I
you
see
asking
how
if
it
we
is.
can traumatize them?
Do we have
The
a
red
James to
guy, yeah.
traumatize the
Are
VA?
you
Not
asking
here.
if we can do it again?
We can manifest Andrew, I think.
I'm gonna open a twit longer.
I'm opening up a Twitter.
When do we get the free food? We do not cater. So sorry.
You think we get paid?
You think we could afford free food?
You think we can?
I mean, it's free.
You
Thank
think we
very
can
much,
afford
Kendall.
food?
Very
I
cool.
handle.
You think this movie? You think we made money?
Vincent,
Uh,
I have a
think-
question. What camera did you use?
So I used a Sony Alpha A7S Mark II. Very nice camera. Full frame, mirrorless, might I add. So you get the full sensor of that. And it's kind of an older camera at this point, but it's still pretty good. I mean, the 4K is nice. The low light is also pretty nice. Although I had this phase where I was like, I gotta get a perfect low light with like no grain. I've got to get it perfect. And every camera still had grain. So when I got the A7S II, I was like, wait, there's still grain. And then I realized that that's just how life works. And I added an artificial grain filter to every shot of Bad Influence. So that's like my arc of what happened there. But
Yes, character
part
arc.
of what makes the camera like that is that it is a macro lens that I'm using, that I'm attaching it to. Yeah, so anyway, that lens is what makes the depth of field really shallow. So when you film at an engine's level, it makes them look it gives them more weight. It makes them feel larger than they actually are, and helps remove part of the illusion of the toy thing. It makes the background seem farther away. It's great. It's great to have a macro lens. It's good.
On the topic of the models that you used, we do have a
Yes.
question from World of Cars. They're asking why you decided to use the 1990s wooden railway models and not the more modern ones.
That is a good question. I initially started out with the older one. There's some footage of I think James with the aquarium cars that was done with the 2004 model, but I think what I came down to the fact was I just like the proportions of the older ones better, and
Mhm.
it's ironic because the face does play a big part in that. You really want to be oh, I really like the face, but then of course we covered up all the faces with the train's faces anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Well,
But I think to be honest, a lot of it was to match, I think, the customs of James and Thomas that we had. We had the flashback customs of James and Thomas, and Julie was old style too, and those all kind of existed before the movie. Those kind of predate the movie by a little bit. So all that stuff, kind of that choice to use the old style models was to make it consistent with those custom models that already existed for it.
banger answer, banger answer.
Yes.
Did anyone say anything about the poster printout at the premiere? I don't know. I was the director. Ask someone at box office. Ask Garnet.
There were a few people that were asking if we had some to hand out. I told them no. Unfortunately, we did not.
Wow.
We should have sourced more. We could have gone to like a FedEx and been like,
Yes,
please,
the
I need these in bulk.
staples.
Fuck FedEx. Fucking hate FedEx.
Oh, never mind, not FedEx. We'll find like an Office Depot or something.
Yeah, let's
That's
find.
better.
Yeah, USPS.
Like Home Depot.
Home Depot.
Trains, boo, bad, says Nico. Good job, buddy.
Nico, again, we'll put you in jail
Okay,
again.
This is fair. I mean, Handle has a point here. No, that's the wrong one. I meant the.
Still
Love
applies.
the FedEx one. I understand that this is in reference to the poster killing printers. However, I will say there has
For
been a
le-
suspicious amount of mail centers being blown up near Handle, and I think that I'm going to take responsibility for that.
That comment is a little incriminating at best.
For legal reasons, we are not blowing up a
little
FedEx.
bit.
We're getting a lot of questions about how you made the narrow gauge engines look smaller than the standard gauge engines.
Just editing. It's just all masking. I used Final Cut Pro as my editor, and you just take part of this shot and then you make it smaller. But that's not really the way to do it. What you actually do is you take part of the shot and then you make it bigger, and then you have the smaller bit. That's like how it was framed, and then that's where the smaller engines go. I actually have a video that it's not out that I don't plan to release, but I don't know why I'm even saying this. But I have footage of me doing it. So if I come out with the behind the scenes thing, I'll try to include some time lapse of me doing that, because it's actually a pretty cool process that we did.
I had that video downloaded on my own phone, and then I got a new one, and I'm sad. It was really fun to watch that.
Yeah.
Fun autism.
Let's see.
Garnet, find some good questions for me.
Well, we also got questions on like what was the hardest scene, what made you want to tear your hair out the most.
You can say it's
Not
for
the
me. It's
wig.
okay.
What was the hardest scene? I mean, scenes with. There's no way to like clarify what scenes it was though, because any scene where I had to deal with the wind outside, where it was
Could be
just constantly
anything.
flipping the backdrop over, was pissing me off. Like that was what was ripping my hair out over.
It's like, was the wind in your hair then?
I mean, objectively, yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I
It's
film
because it's a live stream. Live streams tend to have pretty bad quality. I'm sorry. That's just what you're going to have to deal with.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it'll get better probably in like, I don't know, 15 minutes when I'm not exporting the full cut of the movie.
Oh, good God.
No, that would explain it.
We do have
It
a
looks
question.
fine on my end. I'm like, okay, it's not bad.
No, okay.
It
we
might
got a
be
question.
you. It might be you. I don't know.
Awful.
Blames victims. Blames victims.
You're just
Makes
like
bad
you.
influence blames victims. But if I was to find a scene that was actually like the hardest to do,
All of it from start to end. The most difficult thing you've ever done.
I'm trying to think. Like, there were so many scenes that were reshot multiple times, so I feel like those are probably what count. But I don't know. I really don't know. After a while, you just get into the groove of it, and it stops being like hard. It just starts being monotonous because you just are like bang, bang, bang. Let me bang it out, you know. And then you do. I don't know.
Logan Draw Stuff is asking, would there be a potential release of the script at some point?
There is already a potential release of the script, and by potential, I mean
It's happening.
exists. It's out there. I've updated the Bad Influence website. The Bad Influence website has had a page for scripts. It has High Tide on it, or it has had High Tide on it for a while. But as of literally just a few minutes ago, I put 2 versions of the full script on there. If you're interested to check it out, please go to the Bad Influence website and check that out. I'm going to be adding more stuff in the coming days, but there's an original draft of the screenplay from June 2019, and I was looking at it a little bit yesterday. If we run out of things to do, I think we should just look at that old screenplay because it's entertaining. And then the more finished version from January 2021. So those are both drafts are up there for your viewing pleasure. I think there's like Garnet, I think your PogChamp line is in one of the scripts.
Oh no! Oh no!
What do you mean the PogChamp line?
Thank you for the putting in the link in the chat, DP.
Yeah.
No problemo.
I do want to say, on the note of the website having the scripts up there, The production gallery is now visible, which I've been advertising on there for a long time. But there's so many behind the scenes pictures for you guys to look at on the behind the scenes gallery. I'm gonna be a little cheeky here, and I'm gonna see if I can like share a little bit.
Yeah, leak company secrets.
A little bit. Well, I don't want to share my whole screen. What do I do? Does someone know how to share just the window?
There's a button that says present. Yeah, there's a button that says present, share screen, and then
it'll go. Oh, there you go. I have to find it.
Yay.
There we go. I'll share a little bit. I'll just scroll through it really fast, so it looks like you're getting like flashbang.
Look, everyone, take your screenshots. Take your screenshots.
It's public. It's public. It's out there.
Not for long.
I do have to wait. So just a lot of really fun stuff in here for you to peruse. And you can see how long the production process took as well. And just all the different variations of sets that were filmed multiple times over.
And for everyone who's asking, like, how do I make a movie like this? Or Vincent, can you help me make a movie? This is a lot of help right here because it shows the process. You glean inspiration. Make your own bad influence.
I be honest, I made this movie from just looking at behind the scenes pictures of other people's content. I just looked at them I categorized them. I wrote lists of other people's sets. I did the same thing that you could do right now with my behind the scenes pictures. So, be sure to check that out because it's pretty cool. And if you don't know how to, if you're looking at something and you don't know how it was done, then you can guess, and then maybe you'll invent a new way to do something that's like way cooler than even I knew how to do. And I'll be like, wow, how did you do that? And you'll be like, oh, because you did it. And I'm like, I didn't do that. And maybe magic will happen. I don't know.
You can do anything.
Maybe rare will become magic.
Part of the reason I made Bad Influence was to kind of, or at least release it now, is just this idea of like, I wanted to be the next person who could show you that you could do anything with Wooden Railway or with Thomason or anything, because you really just can.
You sure can. Wooden Railway
is so delightful.
Beautifully versatile medium, and it's one of the more accessible mediums out there because, like, models are not accessible.
Oh, that's
They're
my mom.
Wonderful, but
I didn't mean to do that.
With Wooden Railway, you can get a character for like $15. So
thank you. Resale market, the rare win.
Yeah,
don't sleep on the lots. You can get a lot for like not as much as you normally.
Don't sleep on the lots. Get those lots. Go to your garage sales. They'll be selling like adventures or something there, and you'll be like, wait, what if I made an adventure?
The die casts are great for faces.
Ian says Vincent being an unk right now.
Am I being an unk right now? Who said that?
Uncle Vincent.
So we had a question earlier. Someone asked, why the name Julie? Why not Eagle or Winston like I'm used to?
I mean, Annie, would you like the name Eagle?
Well, there is the bird motif there.
I was a little bit too moderate at that time, so I didn't really understand the concept of gender-neutral names. So I was casting my wife in the role, and so not my wife. My wife.
Well, it's
my wife.
This is where we announced that we had a wedding at the premiere. If you missed that,
they got eloped.
I don't know. I was writing a female character, and I wasn't thinking that a female character could be called Winston. And also, this is not the same character as Eagle or Winston. It's a different character. People usually give OCs names because they're creating them for themselves, and that's what I did. Julie is a fabrication, just as Ivo Hugh is, in effect, a fabrication of my own design, regardless of the fact that he's based on something that was already named by someone who's not me. But it's the same thing with Chance, right? I mean, there's many names that I could give him, but Chance makes it clear that he is my character, and there's no other version of it. And it's the same thing with Julie, because obviously, I don't know, does Eagle die a fiery death? I don't know this.
Maybe. We know the Province Gate fire
I wouldn't know.
Does Eagle have a philosophy?
Please don't get into fan content questions. It's gonna get really embarrassing very fast for me.
I'm sure Eagle is great. He's flying out there. He's free.
Someone
What
just
about
asked
what about Big City Engine Patriot? What about that guy? Let's talk about him. Patriot. He's like on a strip of track. What if Matt Enterprising, Matt Machad, what if you did like a Mobius strip? Like what if Patriot was on a Mobius strip and he was like going around? I think that'd be funny.
What if Patriot was Morbius and he morbed all over the place?
Julie, is it real? You have to wake up.
I don't know if Edward knows that Julie's James' sister. That's a good point. I've never thought about that.
Eagle is the worst name to give the Red Engine. It's not a terrible name.
It's
his creation.
I guess.
My favorite thing about
Daryl. That's worse.
My favorite thing about Julie is that you can tell what shots were filmed when because her lining progressively degrades and comes back over the course of the film.
She's in pretty rough condition, but I'll try to. I don't know. We'll see what we do.
We can fix her.
This is a model that was made by Thomas Wynn Models, who made a lot of models for the movie, including most of the mid-Sodor engines. Most of those are his design, and they will be going back to him. But for the purposes of this movie, I've held on to it for, I don't know, 5 years now.
Yeah.
And then this is, of course, the James custom that Eric Pierre 53 made way back in the day. That's in Railway Tales.
Oh,
and
that is Eric's. Oh my god, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, this is
Eric's. That's Eric's James.
The icon.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
He finally gets to go home to his dad.
Eventually. But yeah,
and no longer in Canada either.
Someone's asking, is HP Brown forklift certified?
Who's asking that?
That one saddle tank.
He runs a whole factory. I assume he could be forklift certified.
Could you imagine?
Imagine
he starts yelling at you in the forklift.
Do you think the CEO of Home Depot is forklift certified?
No.
I mean, if they're like 97.
That's a good point. Because if the CEO of Home Depot is not forklift certified, why would Mr. Brown be forklift certified?
He just picks up the guys he doesn't like and throws them in the pit. That's what that scene is every time.
Wait, we're talking about Mr. Brown or the CEO of Home Depot?
You don't know what I'm talking about.
What about both? What if he was both?
Well, he's the same guy.
What if Mr. Brown was the CEO
like
of Home Depot?
Thomas
These are the real questions we need to
of
ask.
Home Depot?
What if Mr. Brown invented Home Depot?
That's
These are the real
questions.
questions.
One was built before Home Depot
Okay,
existed.
hear me out. His initials are HP. If you swap the P around, it could be a D. So Home Depot.
No. It's Home. No, wait. It's Home Depot.
Around. That's not how this
you
works.
have to extend the D.
No. Let him cook.
Home Depot Brown.
Why can't we
Depot
just go to
Brown.
Home Depot then?
This art was made by Annie and Master of the Lemons. This wonderful poster back here.
They did wonderfully.
Yes.
Thank you.
We saw them in real time. It was great.
So somebody said, did the shark and the octopus kind of eat each other? And as I said in the premiere chat, they had to get along, just like everybody else in the movie had to learn to get along. It's
the camera cuts away, so we don't know. Anything could happen.
They were the real
Thomas and his friends.
We never see the inside of the aquarium, so truly it's up to anyone what happened to them.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be a good little shot in the sequel. Just like, oh, the squid and the shark are in the same tank because they love each other.
Oh, Yowie.
Yowie. I love Yowie.
We
World
love
of Cars
Yowie.
is asking, did that random workman die from the avalanche? Will he be missed? Does he have a partner, kids, real dreams, and a
Will
goal that
he
he
be
never
missed?
accomplished
No.
because of Ivo?
Jesus.
Listen. The question started out normal, and then it goes, "Will he be missed?" I don't know if you do that.
Will he be missed? No.
I mean, okay. What if that was the workman that did not check the train to make sure that Mabel's wheel wasn't flat?
So you're saying it's karmically justified?
Would
that
your
he
opinion
died?
change if it was his fault and he got killed? Would your opinion change?
It's his fault. He also
can't make
trusted
yourself-
Duke for, setting the points that way. He wasn't a good person.
You can't turn this into victim blaming.
marketing. And I'm not
We are
quite
victim
sure what
blaming.
you mean because there's already been so much
Uh,
marketing.
The marketing happens. The marketing. I mean, I guess we're on a press tour right now. I think
maybe the real marketing is friends made along the way.
we're holding space for Bad Influence right now.
VH1 Bad Influence. Oh,
They're
wow,
asking for
wow.
merch for Bad Influence. Annie, is anything going up in your TeePublic store? Maybe we could do something there.
Merch for Bad Influence. Buy the 90s TWR stuff. There you go. There's your Bad Influence.
I have 2 designs planned. 2 Bad Influence designs plans. If you want, I butchered that sentence. Anyway, if you want me to make anything Bad Influence themed for you to wear on your person, just ask. I can do it.
There won't be a DVD, but I have toyed with the idea of also going further with the idea of a shop too, but I don't know how far it'll go.
Guys, check it out. I have Bad Inf merch right here.
I don't know how far we can
Oh
go.
my god.
Steppers!
Stepney.
Steppers!
That's Bad Inf merch. Go to like, I don't know, any secondhand. Go to eBay.
There won't be a DVD or
Come with your
VHS.
overpriced eBay listings tomorrow.
If
not
I
today.
could somehow get a mass production line of like VHSs and I could just like ship it out to people like the Titanic box set where it's 2 tapes and you have to put the second tape in, I would do it, but I don't think that's viable.
Question for Annie. How long did it take for the models to be made for the figures?
Well, I was kind of on a time crunch because I kept encountering difficulties with the clay and then with the varnish and then with the paint. It was awful. So I think the actual figure making process, I crammed it into 3 weeks, which is why some of them are
Jesus
slightly rough.
Christ.
But overall, it took me about 2 months.
Better than me. I took like, what, 3 years?
I mean, it got there in the end, and that's the important part.
You all,
I mean, I'm no flying Pringle, but they got there in the end. So
No.
I'm the reason that the doodle cut existed in the first place, and now it sounds wrong without it.
Can we see the doodle cut one day? I need to see
Doodle
PNG
cut on the
James
website would go
stretched.
hard, actually.
I mean, there's not much in the doodle cut that is like that. I feel like I've posted most of the good things from the doodle cut, like that shot of Percy running away and he's running into like an AI McDonald's in Iceland photo.
No, but that's the schizo cut. We need like the specific doodle cut of just James and Iva, that specific scene.
Well, I can definitely find that. I can definitely put that scene up because it's just one scene.
It's like, why didn't you hide it on your website then?
That's true.
Maybe
I don't
That'd be
know.
funny to hide that somewhere.
Vincent.
We're gatekeeping information now.
Yeah.
Vincent, I have a question for you. What does the 22 in your username mean?
That's how old he is.
It's gonna be how old I am in a week.
happy birthday!
In a week, I will be that.
Aw.
age.
Happy birthday.
So I don't really know exactly why it's 22. This username is a carryover from the Goldfish Kids website. You know, Pepper's Fun Goldfish. So that's what this username is.
That tracks.
I mean, 22 has always had a lot of significance in my life. It's the date that my mom was born on. It's the date the Beatles broke up. A lot of things.
Is it really?
Oh, well, it doesn't matter what month. It's just 22.
Just one of them.
Also, 2 reminds me of like blue, and I like blue. So I don't
Good
know.
color.
And there's
Bluey.
2 of you on camera right now.
Okay, we do have a question for the Tidmouth Tanker.
Yeah,
What
like the snacks that smile back. That's correct. Yes.
Selfish.
What obstacles did you face while writing to see if this would work in the story or not? Was there anything originally intended that was removed?
Yeah, there were definitely a few things that were intended that I just removed. Well, I may have told this story at the actual premiere, but of course I didn't tell them here, so I guess I can say it now. So Bill and Ben are in the movie, but they're only in that one scene. I kept trying. Well, they're in 2 scenes because technically they're in that little bit at the beginning, at Croven's Gate. But I kept trying to write a scene that set up Bill and Ben, and I did. I did it probably like twice. The goal was to set up Bill and Ben and the aquarium cars earlier in the narrative. But every time I did it, it would just feel too like forced. It didn't feel relevant. There was a Brendan Dock scene that was filmed that had Salty, Cranky, Edward, and Bill and Ben in it and set up like the aquarium cars for the first time. That was cut. That initially led into D261 traveling to Knapford, and that was D261's first like appearance on Sodor instead of that night train that he does. And that was a nice little flow, but because I cut the Brenham scene, then I was like, okay, well, then maybe I'll just put Bill and Ben in the Knapford scene and condense that. But then it was like, well, then I don't need the Knapford scene either. I can introduce D261 at night. So I just kept cutting out the Bill and Ben scenes until eventually they just kind of speak for them. They can just kind of stand for themselves. You see them at the beginning, and then you get that little tinge that they're troublemakers. And then, of course, you see what ends up happening with them later. And the aquarium cars kind of are self-explanatory, but I tried to foreshadow them throughout the movie. I think there are a couple aquarium posters as well throughout the movie, but I tried to fit in different types of aquarium cars throughout like the first section of the movie to kind of set up the fact that stuff was in the works for the aquarium.
Every aquarium car ever is on Sodor right now.
Every single one.
No, well, no, not every aquarium car ever is in that movie, because at the time that I filmed Bad Influence, I did not have these, which I just got.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about. Very symbolic for me. This is my most wanted Thomas Wooden Railway item, and now I have it. So
there's
some people want Wooden Railway Sam, and this is yours.
How
I
many
wanted the swing brace.
did Duke lead to their doom? How did he never question himself after the first one?
I think he definitely did question himself after the first one. I think you just grow numb to it. You try to, when you're trying to preserve your space on a railway that's going under, your goal is like, how can I stay on this railway? How can I stay on this railway? I need to protect myself and the people closest to me so that we don't either get tasked with a job that we will basically die doing or be sold off. And at a point when you see new engines coming in, you have no attachment to them anymore. You see new engines that come into the railway and you see them as threats to you, whether that be because they're better than you and they're going to take your easy jobs, or because they could mess something up with the railway because of their reckless behavior and put you in more danger and put the railway in danger of closing. So I think Duke definitely questioned it, but it all becomes a blur in his mind. And he's, the stories are not what they seem. And he's probably not even really remembering them all either, because he was under such trauma during that thing. But I think the important thing to note with Duke is that he did get what he wanted, which was to stay with the railway. But that means staying with the railway even to death, right? Because the railway died and he stayed with it. So he got his wish, but not in the way that he hoped,
Yeah, engines come, engines go, but Duke goes on forever.
Ugh, true.
Eternity.
And that scene with Godred, like in the desert, I think you said to me that that's kind of like an indication of what might happen if he continues, like how many more young engines are going to end up destroyed.
Right. We never really had a specific voice singled out for Godred. Obviously, in the first telling of the story, Skarloey's telling the whole story, and then in the second version of it, Coldy's telling the whole story. By the time you get to the Mid-Sodor Railway, every engine has the same voice, and it's Mr. Conductor Fan, it's Nikki, who's doing every single different dialect of the Mid-Sodor engines that we all layered on top of each other. You did a fantastic job, and essentially, share successful. Essentially, if we were to pin down a real Godred voice, the closest thing that would come to it would be that Mid-Sodor spirit. Let's see if is it glitching? Are you guys there? Okay.
We're still here.
Okay.
We got a question from, I'm going to butcher your name so hard. So sorry about this. Croche Dan Productions, wild, asks, okay, funny question. What beef do you have against Sir Handel? Why did you send him to the Redneck Island?
That's a good question. So first of all, I wanted to do something with water. I want to state this to begin with, is I love water, and I love when people do stuff with water, and I especially loved when Enterprising Engine did his scene where Coldy falls into the raft and he goes down the waterfall in Coldy Fell with the GoPro strapped on. I thought that was the best thing ever. So I was like, can you do this again, but for my movie? And so that's what we did. And Sir Handel just ended up being the person who got that, not only because it was one of the funniest choices. I think you could put Peter Sam on there and it'd be funny too. But I think Sir Handel being on there at the end of the day was partially because I just did not know how to write him at the time. Part of the reason I put him on that raft was because I wasn't exactly sure how his dynamic would play out because of the fact that he is such a blowhard for Duke in the same way. I think Duke needed almost everyone to turn on him at the warp scene for it to have the amount of impact that it had at that time. And if Sir Handel was there, he would have made things a bit more difficult. You know what I mean?
You need to get away with a mini Duke there.
What?
If you're going to have Duke learn, you need to get rid of the mini Duke in the room, too.
Yeah, little yap dog.
True.
Oh, that's so good.
Duncan was intended to come in at that end of that scene as like a what did I miss? But it just would have been a weird insert to film because I didn't film it at the time, and it would have just been, I don't know. It is weird kind of that both Duncan and Sir Handel are missing from that wharf scene, but yeah, it makes.
I mean, you got one of them out of there.
Yeah.
Duke saved his life. Patch is asking, is there anything else you would have wanted to add to the movie before it came out, like any new characters or plot points that weren't touched on?
I was thinking about this when I was watching Act 3 just a little bit ago, is I probably would have liked to have, if I had the time, put in a shot where you see the bridge being rebuilt. That would have been hard to do because of the fact that you would have had to create something that would have actually looked like a new bridge and not just like another shot of the same old bridge. So I think that's why that didn't go in. But if I had to add one thing on, I mean, that's a very base level. Just like, oh, that's one shot I would have added.
Mm-hmm. I have a question.
Yeah, I don't know. That's, yeah.
Yes, funny man. What's your question?
My question is, so I know Rusty, they come in at the very beginning, they explain like the whole world's a stage type thing with the tree, and then they opt out for a little bit, and they don't come back as the narrator until Act 3. Was that an intentional choice?
I just write naturally without a narrator. So I think the next time the narrator was needed was when I needed someone to explain something quickly without showing it via dialogue. And it's funny because it does kind of just pop up randomly, but you get the bookend of it because Rusty is narrating the whole thing. I will say, originally, there were a lot more Rusty narrator lines, especially at the opening and the ending. There was a lot that was cut out because I just needed to slim it down. And we can't be yapping for I don't know how long during the opening shot. I needed to get to that point very quickly. But it's very stark. It's really funny because if you look at the original draft of the script, I don't know if Rusty was the narrator of the script in the first draft. He might have been. But there's so much character that we added the second pass around. Like he's like, oh, the little engine's like me, you know? Yeah, and originally the movie itself ended with a very long monologue from Rusty as the narrator, which is a little bit, you see a little bit in there, but I chose to just make it as brief as possible so that last note that we end on is James saying thank you. And I think it just flows so much better this way.
Yeah. I remember that Rusty dialogue. It was quite beautiful, but nothing beats that punchiness of enough said like James in the end.
Exactly.
People are asking a lot about a bunch of the side characters, like who is and is not real in this world currently.
Okay, who are we questioning if they're real? And I can say this or not.
Okay, so D199 and Fred from the Railway series are what people are questioning. They're also asking Bear, I think, as a sideline. So there's them.
Yeah, I mean they're both in it. I think D199 is seen in the background somewhere, but I don't know. Did he die canonically? I don't know. I don't want to say that he's alive if he died. He might have died. I don't know.
I mean, I don't think it's ever touched on in like the book, so I don't think
not.
Yeah, so
does
he could.
Does Santa exist in this world? That's I think it's funny that killed John.
Any clothes?
I don't know. What do you guys think? Does Santa exist in Bad Influence?
I mean, it would make sense.
There's my boy.
I think it'd be really funny if Santa did.
Santa's the reason all of this happened. Ivo didn't get what he wanted for Christmas, so he wanted to burn it all down.
Mm-hmm.
He got
yes,
the coal.
Both of those characters are canonical to Bad Influence. They exist in the world, yes.
I hate to ask a question twice, but were there plans at any point for Julie to have a face on her model akin to her digitally edited faces in the film?
That is a good question. I think we just ran out of time to do that. I actually was not sure in 2019, 2020. I started filming Julie stuff in 2019. I don't think at the time I was sure if I was going to do Train's faces. That was something that I was really experimenting with in 2020. And then that didn't really end up getting really realized until 2023 and onwards. But it had been the plan from 2020 onwards to use Train's faces. In 2019, no, I didn't know. I didn't know for sure yet. So I think I had maybe wanted to do that, but I wasn't sure what the process was going to be. I didn't know how grand. I mean, I wanted it to be a grand scale. Like, don't get me wrong. This movie has always been planned to be cinematic, high production value, as high as we can get. But I wasn't really as tuned in to everything at the time that I was now. If I did it again, I would definitely get her faces custom printed for the model so that it matches as well.
There's a timeline where they might have been twins.
It's true.
They could have been twinsies.
The same nose and all.
Well, the first, so I designed the Julie faces, and the first pass of designs that I made for her did have her having the same nose as James. That was my favorite version of her, but then someone was like, no, they're too similar. We have to separate them out a little bit. And I will always appreciate the fact that you didn't want her features to be too overly feminine because of the CGI era's capacity to just overly feminize the face.
It wasn't really
too much eyeliner.
The nose not round either. I also like that. But
sorry, I didn't mean to leave.
It was just the way I talked with the face designer. They just ended up doing that. So I was like, this is fine.
Yeah, it worked.
Are most of the Train's faces from pre-existing models, or are most of them custom ones just placed over the edited Wooden Railway models?
They're all pre-existing models except for Julie and Ivo, and I'm trying to think if there's another one. Coldy was new. I don't think.
Yeah, Coldy was a bit, I believe, Cheddar, and then Duke, Rusty, and both Goddard and Stanley's. Their faces are from models and Reverchire works. A lot of the character model faces are from, I think, TSI.
Yeah.
Bill and Ben's, I believe, are on Hard Enterprise. And then D261s, I know it was from sort of workshops. There might be more, though.
Yeah, D261s were hard to get to work. Something's going on with, like, the Soda Workshop script for Bowler.
Well, I can kind of answer that one since the drive. And the stuff where D261 is made by Trainboy. You may know the username from the TSI server, but that version of D261 is one with actually like TTE scripting versus the older style that has more. You couldn't do the same eye posing on the older script versus the one D261 was updated with. So setting up both that version and keeping it in the loop it presented some issues.
Well, it was a problem because only certain people could film with D261. So I couldn't just assign those scenes to everyone. I couldn't just be like, here, do this block of scenes. Because if it had Bowler in it, then we were like, oh, well, we can't. Some people can't do it. So it had to be very specific people that were doing those shots.
Mom says it's my turn on the Bowler.
Thomas, to answer your question, the Ivo Hugh faces were made by Jackie Workshops, and the Julie faces were made by Seth Likes, I think was the name.
Jackie, by the way, literally just posted the Ivo faces, like the.
Oh, really?
Let's go!
Oh, wait, no way!
I literally just saw it and they posted them.
The Ivo faces are also based on sketches that Annie did as well, and I'm so happy with how they turned out. They're like my favorite thing in the movie. Is those Ivo faces, the way that they were done, and the way Jackie translated them too.
Yeah, they brought them to life in such a cool way.
It's really funny seeing the faces like out of context, not in the model. Because it's like, oh, I know these faces from the movie, and then it's like there's nothing around them. She's like, oh, it's just a lineup of faces. I sent it in the group chat.
Henry's Helpful Studios. How did the burning the bridge in Act 3 work? I think they're asking from like a filming perspective.
So we built a huge bridge full of wood, made of wood and cardboard. The whole front half that you see that's facing the audience is wood, and the back half is cardboard. And we basically melded the two together to make the bridge structure. But it's a real bridge structure. It's very tall. And we did that in 2020. And at the end of that shoot in 2020, we just set the bridge on fire, right? So, we basically, but then I'll always tell the story because it's very important to how the film looked in the end. But like a week after that shoot, I woke up and it was like orange outside, and I was like, okay, no. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this. Why is it just orange outside? And it was just orange. Like it genuinely was just orange. Like it was not like someone had put the Mexico filter over everything. That's like what
bucket of paint
you typically expect. You're like, if someone's put the season 11 piss filter on, it's fine. No, it was just orange. It looked like Stepney gets lost perpetually outside in the natural environment. And that was because we had been dealing with smoke from actual local wildfires. And in that moment, I realized that I couldn't just film the fire scenes in, daytime and put a filter on it, because I was like, okay, I'm going to do Henry's Fire Rescue from the TCC. That's what I'm doing. But it doesn't really work like that. And so when you're actually living through it, you understand how the lighting works. So like, when James and Chance are like on that stretch of line by Colby Quarry, where the the avalanche has started already, and the fire is starting to get closer, that I think that sequence you could probably say happens in real time. I think the fire's moving very fast. I think the amount of time it takes for James to tell the story, the first flashback that he tells, is probably the same amount of time that it would take for the fire to have affected the atmosphere that much based on where it was. Because it was very close. And then obviously by the time the dynamite explodes, it's like fully enveloped and it's fully dark and all that kind of stuff. So once we did that, then it was like, okay, well, I've just set this bridge on fire. And I didn't realize that I needed to make it look like it was actually on fire. I just needed, very just girly things. And I had to go back in 2021 and refilm, not all of it, but I had to refilm quite a bit of the bridge sequence with that lighting to really sell the depth of the emotion. But the problem was we'd already burned like half the bridge. So I had to basically reconstruct it, kind of assemble the bridge to do those reshoots. And just very, very like I think there's a shot where you see Ivo just like when Ivo makes the jump himself and he goes down off the bridge and the bridge is just like sagging and it's like cut in half and all that. That's how the prop looked when we were filming that. Like that wasn't like made. I mean, it was obviously dressed up for that shot, but that was all of the bridge that existed when we were filming that particular piece. And eventually, you leave it sitting out in the carport long enough and the bridge will just eventually get smaller and smaller as it withers in the elements. So by the time we filmed the base of the bridge, which was the creek scene where Sir Handel goes by and the waterfall and all that stuff, that was only like, that was probably a quarter of the bridge was intact at that point. But instead of it being like, just like it was like, the bridge was like this. And then we set it on fire and then like half of it was gone. And then we do a little more with it. And then at that point, it's just like this top layer. And that was the only layer left that we used for the base. So it was a lot, but basically that's how it worked. You have to think of the shoot of the bridge as being 3 different shoots. One of the daytime, one of the actual fire sequence when it's on fire, and then the third of being the base of the bridge with like the water where the debris is falling. I mean, if people want to pay, I don't know, $300 for the prop store bridge pieces, sure, like fine.
piece by piece reconstructed, actually.
Here's a question for everyone in this stream. Who is your favorite character in the film and why?
I've talked a lot, so I'm not going to talk.
No.
Who
wants to go first?
I'd say at least like left to right.
Okay, Annie, you're first.
Switch to it.
So Ivo is my favorite personally.
Personal bias.
Yes. But I think Ivo introduces such an interesting force to the railway that we've never really seen before. Like he's just so passionate and he sees straight through everything, but he doesn't know his own strength yet. He doesn't even fully know who he is yet. Just like every character in the movie, he's such a nuanced, interesting character. He's not fully in the right, he's not fully in the wrong. He's just, at his core, he's just someone who wants to be accepted. And I think that's really beautiful. And I think Vincent did a great job playing and writing for him.
Thank you. I enjoy playing Ivo. I've gotten a couple comments where people were like, "Who voices Ivo Hugh?" And I was like, "Wouldn't you like to know?"
Favorite.
Yeah.
All right. We'll go Wolf next. Who is your?
Okay.
You're literally next in line.
You can't keep getting away with this.
I thought you said you didn't want to talk. That's why I skipped.
No, you go back to it. That's your turn, Garnet.
It's your turn now.
We said left to right. That's what we said.
Oh, did
we?
We
skipped
John.
Watch you go.
All right,
skipped
great.
John.
Billy Goose, all of you.
All right. Well, I guess I'll go.
Yeah.
You will. This the problem is that the movie had a lot of like really good moments for each of the characters, so it's hard to pick like one or I'm just like, well, objectively, this is my favorite out of the bunch. But I will say I really did gravitate towards the way Rusty was written in this. Like he's like my sleeper hit of this movie. It's just every time they come on screen, they're just like banger after banger line, like cuts through it, clears the bullshit. It's just like, all right, we got something going on. There's a dead woman in the corner. Let's fucking figure it out. Which, like, again, so real. Because, like, hey, if the world is on fire, what am I gonna do? Just scream? No, I have to do something proactively.
Rusty's very you in that respect.
That's
I like Rusty a lot. This is good.
Didn't you like lean over to me? Someone said Rusty was the mom friend of the thing. When did we say that?
I don't remember. Someone did say that.
I don't think I said that, but that is on. I remember talking with Vincent after the premiere, just being like, God, this fucking guy right here, my goat, Rusty. They're just so real. They're just so real, and I appreciate that very much in a world just where, like, I mean, like, you got Peter Sam in the corner, just doesn't know what the hell is happening. Sets everything on fire. Unreal guy.
Wolf, you're up.
Wolf turn.
Ow!
I don't know. I loved overall characters. I want to say James.
Yeah.
Like, I love the way James are written in this movie. But they have so much to them. Like, I love the way they are a result of what made them. In their entire life, they are such a product of their environments and what they've been through. Like, I love that. Like, yeah, I think I have to say someone to be James. And then, of course, the other three guys. Fifth place, I don't know. Percy, Scarlet. I really like James. And I loved Andrew's performances of them. They did so well.
It's really one of the performances of all time. I've said this to multiple people, but I have just 5 hours of raw James lines with them. And they're not all James lines. Some of it's just us talking, because we were calling when we were doing the voice direction, but there's so many James bits, like extra takes and stuff, that there's only going to have to be some kind of video about it with some various line bloopers, because there are some really good ones in the cast that are pretty entertaining, and James is definitely one of them.
Can we get the full Andrew cut? I want to hear the 5 hours of Andrew noises.
I mean, on the website, we can maybe put just like a 6-hour link to it. You want to listen
This is
to all.
just like that
We'll
one
just
slow mo
like
guy
talking
video.
about like a Germa bit. Like that's what it's gonna be.
Yeah. So can we put Iva Hugh in a meat grinder yet? Or Duke next?
No, not yet. We still
Well,
need.
Oh,
we
that's
do
for the
meat grinder?
sequel.
The teacher noise.
All right,
Um,
Juan.
All right,
Yeah.
my turn. Hello, everyone. Oh, who's my favorite character? I had a couple. It wasn't. It's funny. I love the main characters. I love them all for all different reasons and similar reasons. However, some of my favorites from Bad Influence were some of the side characters. I liked Duncan. Duncan was really
Duncan
funny.
was really funny.
I really enjoyed Duncan. That felt like just every time he was on screen, it was like, damn, that's a good Duncan moment.
Mhm.
I liked what Stepney represents in the main scheme of the fundamentals of the whole story. I like what he represents. I liked his interview bit with Iva Hugh in Act 2. I thought that was really good. I think if I had to pick one favorite, it'd be Julie. I did really like Julie. I liked what she represented. Annie did a great job voicing her. I feel like she was written very well. A fantastic. How would I say? What's the word I'm thinking of? Foil to James, and
fantastic dead wife to. I'm kidding.
Oh no.
I want to talk about Hold on, Jeff. You first.
Fantastic dead.
No, yeah, that's
James is crazy.
Not a DUI while watching this.
Pin that. Someone pin that right now.
They weren't driving under the influence.
Title Tank who animated the last reunion scene of the movie, and he snuck a random still zoom in image of Tom Moss in there to make me laugh so hard. There's Tom Moss. And I couldn't be happier. When I see Tom Moss, I just get so happy. I'm instantly cheered up. It's
But just a quick word on the dead wife trope. Vincent did worry early on that Julie was playing into that, and I told him this then, but I'll say it now. The reason she doesn't is because we see who she is as a person. Julie endears herself to us for who she is. She's not. We get to learn her philosophy, as you're always saying. It's not just about what she means to James. She becomes to mean something to us too.
Mm-hmm. I think that's especially in the way the scene introduced to Julie is not about James. That scene is purely about Julie and being set up by the Henry story. It's set up and support in the story. Well, it is Julie seeing.
Yeah.
You can't cut out the rest of it without having Julie. She is. Henry sets up. It's Julie at the focus of the scene.
The most interesting thing, I think, now that I'm thinking back to that scene, is the fact that James doesn't see any of that. He doesn't know any of the relationship that Julie and Sir Topham had. He doesn't, Julie tells him this stuff, and he can only imagine it, but he wasn't there.
Yeah.
He only gets to experience it when he visits Sodor for the first time and understands what she was talking about. He basically recreates her same path, the same path that she takes when she takes the passengers back from Henry, is she's basically James basically hits the same thing. He goes past the Gristmill, he goes past the tunnel, he goes up Gordon's Hill, and he sees the top of it for the first time, and he sees that expanse just like Julie. We don't have to see what he sees because we know it's the same thing that Julie experienced in that moment when she got to see more of the island.
Yeah, brother.
All right, Matt, your turn. Favorite character?
Oh, right, we're doing that. I like Peter Sam because I voiced him.
Peter Sam.
Real.
Now,
Peter Sam
whatever
is
thing
really
we
good.
do, Peter Sam is always my favorite character. He's so stupid. I love him.
He's great.
Right.
He's really just the funnest thing. I mean, without Peter Sam and playing into him, you don't get to have the fun of doing a Bad Influence cutaway gag, and that's really entertaining. So I'm glad that we got to do that.
Yeah. But no, like that's the thing is that like I don't think I have like a genuine favorite character because every character is there for a reason and every character plays a role. It's like you don't see someone and they don't say something without like paying off.
Yeah. It's
really impressive. I don't think I could pick. I don't think I could pick a single person.
All right, and last but not least, Vink, who's your favorite character in your own movie?
It's hard to say. I mean, I am also biased because I do want to say Ivo Hugh because there's so much to unpack in that psyche. I think it's so fascinating to watch Ivo formulate exactly what his rebellion is because he doesn't start out caring about it. Like he wants to enjoy being on the Skarloey. He's someone who wants to enjoy being there, but people are not letting him enjoy it. That's the thing. It's not as if he wants to be rebellious and he wants to break free of the railway. He only wants to break free of the railway because of the people on it and the way that they're criticizing him initially.
Yep.
And so I think it's fun to play with how that gets twisted. I think, as always, it's always fun to see an impressionable young mind get warped, right? So I would say definitely, probably my favorite, which probably comes across pretty egotistical. I think if I had to find another character that I really liked, I want to say I really also like Rusty, but because no one's really brought them up yet, I'm going to say Skarloey. Ivo and Skarloey. I really like Skarloey. Writing Skarloey was a treat in this because he's so subdued, you know, like he wants to help Ivo, but he doesn't know how. He's kind of falling back on the same stuff that he always did, but he's also aware that that's not fully working. And I think there's a great tragedy about Skarloey because of the fact that he had to deal with all these years ago, and yet people aren't really learning, you know. He's watching the same things happen, and he's kind of powerless to stop them because he himself is too pessimistic. I think he gets kind of lost in that, and he's kind of torn at times between Rheneas and Rusty, who both have very kind of different approaches to the whole Ivo thing. And of course, traditionally Skarloey would align with Rheneas, but at this stage in his life, he's not quite relating to him in the same way. So I think that interaction between Skarloey and Ivo, when Ivo goes out to fight the fire, is really powerful because of the fact that at that point in time, Skarloey is truly, he's like, what has happened to my railway? Like, what has happened? And he's stressed about the fire. He's stressed about Ivo. But in that moment, he sees Ivo fighting for the same thing that he cares about. And Ivo whistles at him, and that inspires Skarloey to respond with that newfound vigor, right? He's refound the passion outside of the pessimism to keep fighting. And I think he's just a very interesting character for me to write in that way.
It is kind of insane in context of the movie that Ivo is all of like 2 days old. And they're just like, well, now that you're here, you gotta know what's going on.
So like, John mentioned something a little bit earlier that the best scene is the bridge scene that John and I filmed. Was that in the movie? I don't remember. It's not in the movie.
No.
We did that for nothing.
What bridge scene?
We did that for nothing. What a waste.
To be fair, even though I had already cut several scenes from the movie, I had the voice actors all record the deleted scenes. Even though I knew that I was going to cut them, I had them do the deleted lines.
Oh, buddy, we have so much BTS footage to put together.
Your line is not one that I intended to cut. But then I heard it, and I was like, this is so ass. We got to get rid of this immediately. So that's just what you bring to the table. So.
I can't believe this.
Oh, good. Go on. Someone said Ivo Q reminded them of Luce from Owl House. So they...
Yeah, I was about to say, that's interesting. But I fully get it. Because I love Owl House.
Funny, though.
I found it. Grounder. Based comment. Bad influence Ivo reminds me a lot of Luce.
That is a good comment. I like Luce. Luce is goated.
Yeah.
Goated with the sauce. I think that's a very high compliment.
So when
I love the Owl House.
Learn to get his powers.
When does he get his powers?
Mm-hmm.
Like 11.
You watch the Owl House now?
Yeah.
Let's do the rest of this. Just watch the Owl House.
Yeah.
I think it'd be really funny if that Ivo like literally could make things levitate, but then he just chose to not do that.
He can manifest it.
He was like, "Man, I wonder if I could use this for anything," and then he moved a barrel.
He purposefully did not use it when he was pushing Duke over the jump. You know, he was like, "Well, let's see what happens." Like,
This telepathic levitation type deal is going to be the perfect in for when Diesel 10 comes in. Not going to need Lady. We're just going to need Ivo and his Stranger Things ass telepathic powers. 11.
Diesel 10 in a
7.
bird cage.
Oh, what's going on?
We don't need 11. We have 7.
Oh, good God.
I can't do the deleted. I can't post the deleted scenes like immediately soon, but I want to post them sometime next month. Yeah.
Question for me. What was your reaction when you found out Julie was gonna get scrapped? Okay, so to rewind a little bit.
You can tell the whole story. I don't care.
So rewind a little bit. A long time ago, someone named Turtles and Thomas approached me and said, "Would you like to voice a character in Cedric?"
That happened to me too, by the way.
I think it happened to almost everyone here. But suffice to say,
no, it didn't happen.
I asked him. No. Was it you? I think we both asked him, so I can say this.
I think it was you.
Yeah, I asked him, "Do I get to die?" Because I was really excited, right? Because, like, you know, everyone dies. And he said, "No, I can't kill Annie C. They'll come for my head." And then Vincent heard that, and he said, "Well, I'm going to kill Annie C. Because, you know, he saw me as a person. He saw I wanted to die in a project, and he was like, well, I'm going to give her that."
Someone clip that. Someone clip that right now.
I just wanted to kill.
So new Chris's part opener.
And I've always wanted to kill her. And that is always a goal of this project.
But I really appreciated it because Turtles
you were going to get killed.
Turtles was seeing me as the positive, ooh, wholesome baby child person that everyone else kind of saw me as. Vincent saw me as a person who wanted to die.
I saw her as a person with the potential of enough depth to be killed. And also, so much of Bad Influence is about subverting expectations. I'd feel remiss in my duties if I didn't kill the wholesome ooh. I'm kidding.
So suffice it to say, World of Cars, I was really happy, and I still am.
And actually, this ties back to this. Matt asked me the same thing. Enterprising asked me, "Can I voice a workman that gets crushed by falling debris?" And I was like,
very specific Matt question too. Like he would absolutely ask that very specifically.
And by the way, he just asked that, and so of course I was like, you know, I was developing the movie. I was like, sure. So that character only exists because he asked that. Like that was not a character.
That's so wonderful.
The workman was not going to be in Bad Influence. The workman was not going to be in Bad Influence until Matt asked me, "Can I be a workman that gets crushed by falling debris?" And so there we go.
So when everyone says, "Wow, I can't believe you killed both Enterprising and Annie C in that movie," that's a point of pride.
No, I'm
just
very
built different.
the point of Matt Fatter. Never mind.
He let us die.
Not to be Ryan Johnson.
That.
Not to be Ryan Johnson, but
Vincent let us die.
That one fucking like ASDF movie, if that Muffin's like, "Somebody kill me."
I love Muffin Time. Rip random workman. He would have loved Asteroid City.
Typical Thomas asks, "I have to know how much, if any, of Enterprising's material was improv?"
So funny story. There was a weird section that didn't have clueless workman lines, and I was like, "Oh, I got to put them in." But because of the way that I asked Matt for the workman lines, some of the lines in the original script just were never recorded. And I was like, after a point, I was like, "Fuck it, I'm not going to keep asking him for more lines." So I just ended up using some of his random improv for like, why is there 2 John steak and cakes?
Oh my God, they're multiplying.
No. Oh God.
No.
There's so much cake.
He's
leave
holding
it there.
space
Even
for
the whole
their
screen
cake.
now. Just leave it. Just leave it.
Anyway,
No.
that point being, there's like a line where he's like, "I'm questioning every single thing, every single choice I've ever made." And that was just full, like, I just didn't have the line there. I didn't ask him to record it, and I was like, "I'll just put this in." So I did. I don't know about the workman dousing himself in marmalade line. I think I might have said ad-lib something here, and he did, and so we did, and a lot of it was, but like the specific like scripted jokes about like West Side Story and Billy Joel, where that was me, that was scripted. Obviously, same thing with the thunder thing.
Thunder.
Thunder. Thunder.
I wish.
What?
But that's not what happened.
Yeah.
Someone's asking what happened to Steak and Cake. Great question. We don't know.
They got him.
They keep dying. We don't
They
know
got
what's
her.
going on.
They got me. I'm gone. Just like Julie.
Posta.
Somebody asked, will Young Tucker be important in the sequel?
Sure. What's
Young Tucker walks in and says it's Tucker time, and Young is all over the place.
It's tucking time.
I mean, I feel like I like ACDC, but I definitely probably could only use that because of Planes, Fire, and Rescue. I don't think that. Well, I wanted to do the Thunder bit, but it just expanded into using that song for the montage. Because I had played around with different songs for that montage for a while. And eventually, Thunderstruck just fit the best because we'd already heard it, and then it made sense, you know?
What happened to the E2 that was number 13 in the movie? Did we?
That's Young Tucker.
Oh,
That's Young Tucker.
I was like, huh? What? Oh, okay.
Fun fact, that was my backyard.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Can we see it?
We're not going to the backyard right now.
Why
I have
not?
a picture of like after filming was done. It's all at some point we left that mound up for a year, and then like like lawn guys came and they had like a giant lawnmower with like giant tires and just flattened the thing.
They're just like,
No.
we can't do this. Who owns the Young
didn't
Tucker
want us to have
custom
fun.
now?
They didn't want us to have fun at all.
Where's the Young Tucker custom now? Is it just like in the ether now?
I think Annie gave it to Matt. So
Gotcha.
Enterprising has it.
Oh, slay. How long before the film gets copyright struck for using unlicensed pop music?
I mean, the penultimate cut has had every song in there, and it's been up there since August. So I think you're looking at least probably another 8 months, but we'll see.
That's enough time to have a child.
I really
Am
hope
I going to
Thunder's looking
experiment with
down.
more water in your future videos? I'm so glad you asked because I'm so obsessed with water. I cannot get enough with water. I will add
Yeah,
all
me
the
neither.
water in the world if I could.
Yes,
So, yes,
H2Os.
There's a
High
Pokemon
Tide
game
really
about
inspired me.
this.
High Tide inspired me to do more with water. So I will definitely be doing more with water.
What I'm hearing is we have potential for Ivo Hugh waterboarding Duke next sequel.
I thought you were going to say Ivo Hughes Wild Water Rescue, and I was like, are we doing Busted Buffers?
Ivo, Peter, Sam, and Sir Handel. They all somehow ended up on the
I can't have the
raft.
next vacation. I was sure as hell afterwards.
Oh, someone just asked, what is the future of your channel now that you finished the movie?
Well, to be fair, I feel like this was the first. This to me feels like the first video I ever really made. I mean, I made Matt the Cat, and I made High Tide, and I made Obama Soda Rink.
Yeah.
Obama Soda.
You made a couple videos about Owl House too.
Just one.
That doesn't count. That's not.
Vincent.
It's a video.
Vincent,
It's a video.
Vincent, please make more Owl House analysis. Please make more. I like listening to them while I'm on the treadmill.
It's gonna be a while, but
Analysis.
I might.
Just analysis videos from you are good. You need to make more. It doesn't even have to be
What
Owl
I'll
House.
say, what I'll say is this: is that now that with this movie is out, I feel like I've gotten my foot in the door, and it's taken me this long to fully express what I am, who I am, and what I want to do with Thomas content. So from this point onwards, I say, obviously, it's a lot, and I'm gonna kind of, I can't just immediately start producing additional content, but I want to, and I know how to do it in an expedient way now. And let's just say what I want to do in the future, this is the beginning of. So now that you understand who I am and what this world is and what I am, what my channel is, I mean, I think this is only the beginning of where we'll go from here. But I just don't know how frequent or if anything that will be,
Did Annie die?
She's not here right now. She'll come back.
Is Sir Handel cooked or is he gonna be cooking? Great question.
Well,
I guess that bears the question. Do we think Sir Handel could go toe to toe with all of the logging locos?
no, he cannot.
He is like a private school kid. I think if he had to fight them, he'd start screaming.
He hears Ferdinand say "That's right" once, and he immediately kills over.
Yeah. I'm surprised no one has commented on the fact that the logging locos are now narrow gauge.
They can have hobbies.
Oh yeah, because they're on the narrow gauge track, aren't they?
Yeah.
I support it.
I mean, it
does
works.
the same.
Logging locomotives can be narrow gauge.
Thomas isn't going anywhere. Thomas isn't going there, is he?
We don't know that.
We don't know.
The Misty Island Rescue Cannon.
So what I'm hearing is Bad Influence 3, Misty Island Potential.
Sure. I mean, anything is potential if you think hard enough about it.
Bad Influence 2 is just Misty Island Rescue. Instead, it's just them going to get Sir Handel.
What if I posted
They haven't,
like, and I just posted the entirety of Misty Island Rescue, and I immediately take them down? I think that's really funny if I did that.
Did Busted Buffers ever make a Misty Island Rescue parody?
I don't think
they did
I don't
not.
know.
Damn.
It was
Can
the
that
only
be Bad
original
Influence
they
2?
did
Just
make.
Wait a
Busted
minute.
Buffers styled, like Misty Island Rescue parody?
I know what we're doing next August.
It would be really funny
Yeah.
if, like, in the Misty Island movie, Tom's just like, man, this is sure is weird. And then just in the middle of the Shake Shake Bridge, it's just Sir Handel stranded.
On the converter
They
wagon.
won't let me leave.
It's just like
No,
Birdie.
it's Sir Handel on top of Birdie.
They're both there.
Yeah,
You guys remember when Birdie was there? Like, I just want Birdie back. Like, I want Birdie on Misty Island. Birdie on Misty Island, the Disney Plus series.
There's so many characters that get taken to Misty Island. Like, there's Birdie, there's Edward, doesn't Dowager Hat also visit?
Yeah,
for
Dowager
some-
Hat goes in season 14. And then Rheneas was there once. Rheneas and Toby together went to Misty Island.
Why didn't it? Rheneas was going to find Sir Handel.
My response to this question is that I don't know why he ever thought he was safe. I don't know what was going through his head. I don't know why he stopped there. I don't know what was going on.
Is he stupid?
I don't understand Duke. He's not me. Yeah.
Hello?
Why did you lie to us? Vincent is killing me.
Why are you love to lie.
Marion on Misty Island, so true, Minty.
Hey, it's possible.
So Duke was unfazed by the fire. I mean,
No,
I think he just
really
didn't
like
notice
that.
it. I think he didn't
No.
notice it. I think that he was in his own world. I think he did not.
Because neither did Ivo or James or Chance. They're all just in their own worlds as the fire is slowly consuming them.
The only person to notice it is Chance. Is really the only person that was paying attention, I think.
Okay, maybe in like the universe itself. I mean, they have a firebox, so they're just like, man. I mean, it's a little warmer, but like, it's fine. I can live. It's chill.
How self-centered.
I personally had canon. They just didn't care.
Oh, that's crazy. Anyway, I'm gonna tell you this.
Bro,
I need to
that's
tell you a
Andy. This
30-minute
is not
story real
important.
quick before we leave.
Just a
Oh, I
full
thought you were about to do it. I was like, you're gonna
No.
tell us a 30-minute story? I was like, okay.
Just a full dissertation while dynamite just went off. Their ears are still ringing, and James is like, yeah. That's crazy.
I'm sorry. C Junior's Magic said, these bitches keep yapping on God, on God. I'll fucking stab you.
You're at our stream.
Welcome to the after party.
I'll stab you. And that's not a
For
threat.
legal reasons, this is a joke.
I'll stab you.
Nope.
Minecraft.
Why not?
Give me some criticism now, and I'll see if I pay attention to it, because I might not. But we can only know if we pay attention. If we get it.
It's Schrodinger's attention span.
Did we get any criticism so far in the chat? I don't think I've
I don't know. I
seen
just see this, and I'm like, oh, I must have missed it. I must have been.
Oh
Too
my
busy
god,
eating.
2816, hi.
Oh my god, that was like 8 years ago.
Will we, guys? What do you guys think?
No.
Not
I
on
will.
I don't
Look
want
at you.
for you.
We could,
No.
it would be funny.
The better question is, can you adapt it for the Bad Influence cinematic universe?
Is push me, pull you, can
Push
What
me,
happens
pull
if
you.
What happens if push me pull you? Tell me. I need to
Okay,
remember.
so basically,
I know the gist of it, but tell me again.
Skarloey is told that he has to pull the puppet show train to like a place. I don't remember where. And at one point he meets Rheneas, and Rheneas is like, "Hey, you should let me help you." And Skarloey is like, "No, thank you. I can do this." And Rheneas is like, "No, I'm gonna help you anyways." They end up playing tug of war with the puppet show train.
Wait, who does?
Rheneas and Skarloey. They play tug of war between themselves with the train. Skarloey wins because Rheneas' coupling breaks, and then Skarloey goes flying down a hill. He crashes into Rusty, who's pulling ice cream, crashes into Duncan, who's pulling bunting, and then finally ends up in Percival Pond.
Mm-hmm. Real.
And then Rheneas pulls him out, and then they both take the train to the place for the kids.
I'm so glad you know the plot off the top of your head.
Yeah,
I'm not.
He's just reading the wiki.
No, I'm not reading the wiki. I'm the hit era historian, guys. This is my job.
The hit historian.
The hit historian.
Okay.
I have a couple questions that I want to answer, but first I will say, yeah, sure, I can adapt that into Bad Influence if it's. Secondly, hold on. Why didn't Sir Handel's driver and fireman go for help? They were inside him. I don't know if this is.
Oh my.
I feel like.
They want a nice crew.
No, I didn't get that answer. Let me try that again. Why didn't Sir Handel's driver and fireman go for help?
They were unconscious in the cab because they kept getting thrown around.
They did. But they didn't. They couldn't find it because when they went back to get him, he had been sent out to sea. And when they went back, they found like their little shed had been destroyed, and they were like, "Shit! God damn it! My Elvis Costello records were in there. What the fuck do I do?" And that's what happened to them.
Costello.
So I just think that that's the answer to that question canonically. Another question: why did I move James's arrival to after 1948? Because I wanted to play with the fact that the books were originally supposed to take place in the period of the 40s. They were just retroactively moved to the 20s. And also it gets me a little more chance to establish what the factory was and how modernization was starting, even before diesels were a big thing early on. But it's an alternate timeline, so obviously I don't, you get to play with it.
Hi, Robert. Thank you for joining.
Hello, Robert.
Oh my God, hi, Robert.
Totally good idea. Hi, Robert.
Hello, Annie.
Hello, everyone.
Robert, I think I owe you lines.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, a little snacky to tide you over.
How many?
I did not buy Facebook listings for Superstation Track. I was part of the Thomas Creator Collective. So the story for how I got that much Superstation Track is because they would ship it to me in these boxes. They would I think Thomas Wooden Railway Kikre sent me this huge box of Superstation Track and Adventures toys to use for the TCC, and so I just kept it and I accumulated. I think probably about 3 or so Superstations worth of track, maybe 4. Probably 3 is probably more accurate because one of the times was just that I actually had a Superstation, like I got one, and so I used that. But then I also got the Super Cruiser later with Stefano, and that gave me a little bit extra track. But I love Stefano. I think Stefano should be the main character of Bad Influence 4. Personally,
I'm very excited for D261's comeuppance.
So hope you're having a great night tonight, Robert.
The mooring rope broke.
True.
Bless you.
I am going to switch out. Someone else can find some questions to ask.
Right.
Bye. I love you.
All right.
I can't believe Vincent died.
Okay, so while our director man is out, do you have any does anyone in the audience have general questions that we can answer?
Yeah.
We will knock you IRS money.
Stefano has a fist fight with Diesel 10, and that's it. That's Bad Influence 4.
4?
Oh my God, we're moving up in the world.
Bad Influence for 5th cool.
Stefano fist fighting Diesel 10 is ridiculous. Bad Influence chipwrecked. You guys are beautiful.
Did you guys see that tweet the other night that was like, Diesel 10 has a little box thing. I like to think it's him doing a thumbs up. on the side of his claw.
I just saw it yesterday.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Bad
I
Influence
have
is
Diesel
going to
Pen's
be
claw
the
somewhere.
Land
Hold
Before
on.
Time series of Thomas content. Minty, what does that mean?
Where's my Diesel 10 claw? I have one lying around somewhere.
He's hiding.
Find
There we
him.
go. Found it. Thumbs up.
Oh my
That's
god.
wonderful. Wait,
Question
where's
for
the rest
Annie,
of them?
Were you the backing vocals in the Bright
I never
Rock
made the rest
cover?
of them.
No, I was not. That is all Eric. He is amazing.
Insane, man.
He's so good.
He's so good. He's so good.
Now you put Bad Influence to squeak will away right now.
I mean,
no, do
Well,
not
listen.
tie me.
No.
You sit
Listen.
down now.
We have to consider Bad
You do not have to consider
Influence for the road
anything.
ship.
did Duck die?
John, I will literally kick you from the stream right now.
Please don't. I want to be here.
Did Duck die in the
There, you had
smelting
two
pit?
year
He was at the
earlier.
beginning of the movie. Duck is in the movie. He has one line, but he's there.
Unless.
Stop trying to kill Duck.
Why not?
It's not your series.
Hines did it once. And you all think you get away with it?
Wait, what was Duck's one line? I don't even remember what his one
It was
line
at
Even
the
us?
first shed scene. Yes, it was. I think it. Yeah, it
Says
was just
even
two
us.
words. Any fun ideas you threw towards Vincente to add to Bad Influence? I helped with like one scene, I believe. I chose music for when Chance's first scene in the movie, which is fun. That was fun.
Mhm.
Hollow Knight OST. If y'all haven't played Hollow Knight, it bangs. The music slaps.
Ooh, need to someday.
Insane bang for your buck for $15. You get like over
It's so
100
good.
hours of gameplay.
It's so good.
easily.
And there's DLC content too. Get it.
Here's a good question.
District of Columbia content.
Does steak and cake taste good together? Okay, as someone who has eaten steak and cake multiple times,
Ew.
on the same forkful, no. If you just put it on a plate next to each other, it looks nice. But if you have the same mouthful of steak and cake, not really.
Oh dear.
Trust me, I don't do that
So
often.
what I'm hearing is 2 forks. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, that's fine.
So are we gonna talk about how Gordon just decided I'm Ram Percy just cause? Okay, so in the movie context itself, because James is throwing his jobs at everyone else, that is the reason. Those two are not supposed to be there. There's something else
Neither
going
one.
on. No, they're not supposed to be there. So I think Gordon's just like, I mean, James can do this, and he goes fast. And Percy's like, I'm 3 years old. Please do not hurt me. And he gets
I'm
gone.
3 years old.
I mean, Percy does feel like he's just like, please. I've already
just a
suffered
little
enough.
guy.
2, 3, 5. Wait, was that 4?
I scrolled back up in the comments a bit. Can I just say, guys, you do realize it takes us time to answer questions, right?
Mhm.
Like, if you don't answer your question right away, doesn't mean we hate you. And sometimes the question is just not good. Like, I'm sorry. Sometimes it's not good.
And word about
the Royal Scotsman, you have an attitude problem. Calm down. It's okay. It's okay. This doesn't matter.
Mhm.
That being said, if we do miss a question and you've asked it and we just missed it, feel free to send it again. I'm doing my best to make sure that everyone is getting an answer.
Also, word of
Don't send
advice.
it too many times.
But
Don't
if you're
spam,
asking
please.
something extremely obvious that was in the movie, then just go rewatch the movie.
Yeah.
It's out in full tomorrow.
It is. Also, word of advice. Some questions are better for DMs than Twitter live chat.
Yeah.
And again, please don't ask us to voice in your film, please.
Yeah, but in DMs maybe, but not.
Well, you can ask me. You can ask me. I don't know about the rest.
John, don't encourage them.
Plug your account. Plug your account. Plug your account.
Okay, I'll plug. Okay, my channel is exactly what you see on screen. I am Steak and Cake. Hit me up if you want my voice reel. I have range. I like to think.
Yeah, they're really
you
good.
do.
Matt thinks I do a sick Gordon. That's about it. I do a good Birdie, George, Gordon.
You do a good Toby.
I do a good Toby. Yes. Yeah. Thank you. I do like my Toby voice. While I'm thinking about it, I should probably say my involvement with Bad Influence. I voiced the James and Julie's superintendent. I voiced that
Chalmers.
A superintendent.
I voiced that guy. There's a quick little voice line that I did for the Midsodor manager in the static face smudger bit. That was my voice that said, "Duke told me everything. We're going to make you useful at last." That was me. I did that on a whim because Vincent asked me to. Well, thank you. And probably my most proudest addition to Bad Influence was I did the most of the sound effects work for the first act of the movie. I did that. I'm very proud of that. I like doing sound design.
Did you end up pulling those all-nighters for it or no?
I did one single one-nighter to finish the last 15 minutes of the sound design because I procrastinate like a son of a bitch. And yeah, that's my biggest flaw is I procrastinate like a son of a bitch.
I mean, real. I gotta give an actual serious compliment to this.
Oh, sorry to take that down.
No. My last thing I was gonna say is at the end of Act 1, there's a bit where Ivo crashes and falls over, and I added a funny little sound effect. And Vincent found it the day before he premiered it in Edison. And he texted me, all caps, saying, "Did you add a funny clank sound effect when Ivo fell?" And I was like, "Yeah, I was hoping you found it." So you all need to go back and find it and then laugh at it, because I snuck that one in, and I'm very proud of it.
I still gotta say, both times I've seen the movie, during the Ivo huge dream sequence, we hear him just start to soar up. Both times we hear the groan S effects. I keep thinking, "Oh hey, forest horror." I keep thinking it. Both times.
Hello, John.
Like, oh hey, I know this guy.
Hi.
There's
back
another
to what Garnet was starting to read. I got to give an actual serious compliment to this film just because it actually writes James as a likable protagonist alongside Ivo. It's insane how Ivo works so well despite being a blank slate character. Yeah, you know, when you watch the movie in full, it really all clicks together. It's such a well written story.
It is really funny because like I feel like in a lot of like Thomas like fan content, it's so easy. It's so easy to make James just like the worst person imaginable, but he's not. He's just got an attitude problem sometimes.
Someone asked for 611 to join the stream, so here you go.
Oh my god!
Bull. What do you mean, bull?
Boo, we hate your Elmo.
She has Elmo.
There's Elmo. There's Elmo.
Aw, it's a little buddy.
Well,
can you make Sir Topham Hatt having a Grommet mug canon? I don't know, Vincent, can we?
Hey,
can I make Sir Topham Hatt go into Grimace mode canon? I don't know.
Hey, y'all remember the Grimace Shake? I had the Grimace Shake.
I remember the Grimace Shake, man. I
thought you said the Grimace take. I was like, what's the Grimace take of the Bad Influence sound effect? I have to know that.
Mozzarella sticks.
Go get the mozzarella sticks. Okay, I'm back now. So
they're taking turns on the mic.
Not the tea.
Do you have more? Give me some more questions, Garnet.
I mean, we've been getting a lot of people asking, is there going to be a follow-up to Bad Influence?
Yeah, there'll definitely be future projects that I want to do with stuff in the universe. It's too good to abandon, I think. There's more stuff I want to do.
So there's going to be 5 more movies all about Ivo, specifically.
Yeah,
and at least one about that one Terrence truck.
Terrence truck spinoff. I think we'll make it a limited event. I say this as if Bad Influence isn't like a limited event, like a 3-night event. That's what we did. We did the Germa Dollhouse stream, so.
Yeah, it's the Germa House.
Yeah.
The Joust.
I know Joust. That's a proxy site.
I think the best part of James in the movie is that even if James was right about Chance, he's not fully in the right either way. His prejudice is still crazy either way, and I love how flawed he is. It's so true. That's the thing, is that like there's so much dimension to like every character in it, so it's no one is like ever completely in the right or completely in the wrong at any point in the movie. It's just like, well, you
Peter
understand.
Sam's always right.
I don't know. I mean, he did ignore a woman, and I don't know about that. So.
He's just vibing. He's just having fun.
It's nice to have someone who doesn't have selective hearing. What was that?
What was that?
I don't.
I love Mabel. She's goated.
Yeah. So fun fact, real quick. Before I was casted to voice Peter Sam, I had not read the script. Like I had heard Vincent and everyone like talking about it because most of the people in like the group chat that we're in together are like part of, they were part of like the collaboration team to like, put Bad Influence together. I was never a part of that. So I would hear them talk and I would know like bits and pieces and hear about the movie. At some point, someone suggested, has Matt ever read the script? Should we just send it to them? And I was like, no, don't send me the script. I want to go into this blind. And then I was casted to voice Peter Sam. So I was forced to read the script, but I only read my line. So I still didn't know what was happening.
And you didn't know until like the final night, right?
An unbothered brain.
Your perspective of how you saw the movie was wild too, because I don't think in 2022 were you cast as Peter Sam yet?
No.
I don't think you were in that.
I was not Peter Sam
yet. The very
first
cut that we all watched as a group only went up to Julie's death, and that was where it ended. But even at that point, you hadn't been Peter Sam.
Yes,
not
and
her
then there was the other watch along that we did this year in August at the Edison show, and I was called away at the beginning of Act 3.
Mm-hmm.
So up until
I remember the phone call.
Up until premiere night, I had not seen the ending of Bad Influence. So I had seen everything up until like Julie's death. I knew nothing would happen afterwards. I didn't know jack squat about the aquarium cars. I knew nothing. All of my context finally came. I didn't even know about the bridge jump thing until it finally happened at the premiere. That was my first time seeing the movie in total.
I'm not even in the movie, and I saw the cut before he did.
Come on.
No.
The one scene got cut where you were the bridge.
Oh, so you did bridge that gap.
We did, and then it got cut. And then we cut the bridge.
Yeah.
Sorry, this question we just got. Will Sir Handel be okay?
No.
He's never been okay.
He'll never be okay after this.
I'm not the arbiter.
In more than one way.
I mean, I say this like, I'm not the arbiter of Sir Handel's mental health. I am quite literally.
You decide his destiny.
After a point, you start writing these characters and they just become real. And then you're like, well, whatever they do in their own time is none of my business.
That's off screen.
In
our business.
Kid asks, are there going to be any hit era characters that appear in Bad Influence canon?
That's a good question. Well, if you listen very carefully, at the end of Act 2, you can hear someone in the background at the fairgrounds say, "The brass band is arriving at Brendan Docks." So
was that Hazel's line?
You can assume that Neville's somewhere off screen, and he's really happy about that.
Help me, Thomas. That is a line that Neville said.
It's not real.
No, he
so
said that.
you're telling me we got Neville and Bad Influence before we get Emily? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Emily will never appear in Bad Influence.
Right now, I like a lot of the hit era characters, but I don't. They're not where I'm focused. If I was to introduce any other characters, I would probably past obviously like the canon that we're working with right now. If I were to introduce characters from future parts of the show and bring them back to this timeline, I'm probably more interested in like the CGI characters. I don't know why. I just like the world building of that world. So that's probably going to happen before hit era characters.
We're going to get Stafford before Emily. What a cruel world.
Yeah, how many
No. That's my 13th reason why.
How many engines are currently on Sodor in the Bad Influence timeline? I think I have a list of this, actually. Hold on.
You have at least 2.
Yeah, because when we made the timeline, I have a list of the guys that are
Yeah,
on.
you do have it.
I can pull that up if you would like.
Sure.
All right, hold on. Bad Inf timeline. I forgot I made this. This is so funny. Okay, hold on. So in modern day, let's see. I forgot how long this is. Jesus Christ. Okay.
This comment's interesting. When some engines monologued, what was your urge to make the vocabulary so monotonous?
I just like to write, and I sometimes forget that I'm writing. and so it just
I just
happened.
like to write. Full stop.
What
Period.
do you mean by that? What do you mean monotonous? I'm so curious.
I'm gonna guess like big words, maybe.
I think so. Which is a fascinating thing to
James.
criticize.
Well, to be actually, I do want to talk about this a little bit because James, a lot of James's speeches are very particularly crafted. They're particularly crafted to hit Ivo or to hit D261, to hit one of these engines in a very specific way. But the key with James is that he talks a lot without saying anything. So it was very important to me to try to convey something with every line, but for that line to feel as if it was like not doing anything, you know what I mean? Like it says something about James, but it doesn't really say he's not communicating effectively. He's communicating something to, say, an audience member who's looking at it from afar. But if you were to put yourself in that situation, there's nothing that's really happening there. You know what I mean?
It's very Monopoly-esque.
Monopoly-esque? Okay. Okay, in Bad Inf timelining, up to the current events of Bad Influence, you've got 1 through 11, Daisy, Boko, and then Scarlet, all the narrow gauge guys that you saw in the movie currently, and then Chance as well. So that's who's in the that's who's in the timeline canonically.
That's I mean, Toad is there too. You can't forget Toad.
Well, yeah, Toad, Henrietta, Annie, and Clarabelle. Old slow coach. Many bangers.
Yeah.
Wait, does
Derek there? Wasn't Derek in the movie?
Oh yeah, he was.
He's there, but I don't believe we ever he's not ever
never acknowledged.
Confirmed.
No.
He's never acknowledged, but he was there. He was at the aquarium.
Yeah.
Will Bad Influence have a full version of it? I believe it's going up tomorrow, right?
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, that should be ideal.
Well, yeah, it's been at least 15 minutes. How is it going?
Oh, the cut?
Mm-hmm.
The cut it's shared successfully. I just have to upload it now. It's like a 45 gigabyte file.
Oh, you guys are so right. Mavis and Stepney are also there.
Yeah.
Mavis, Stepney, Bill, and all the private guys are also there. Yes.
I can't believe it took you that long. Donald and Douglas are also there, which was implied in the 1 to 11, but I just kind of forget they exist sometimes. So I feel like that's why I had to say it, and I feel stupid now because it's
Season
implied.
5 head ass. Forgot they existed.
I'm gonna be honest. Watching part 2 the other night made me very concerned in regards to a lot of the implied subtext. I slightly broke down when James shot down Ivo's grievances of Duke's behavior. Oh, but it sucks.
Yeah, I mean, my goal with writing, just in general, and this is gonna sound maybe a little bit shallow on it, the whole of it, but my goal is to make art first and foremost. I want to tell stories that impact people. My goal is not necessarily like, let's explore this facet of Thomas and Friends, even though as much as I want to. I think a big part of this was like, how can we explore Duke's past? Because there's so much about Duke that conflicts with the Skarloey Railway, and yet now he's suddenly merged, and we have to unpack that. There's a lot of amazing stuff in the canon. Don't get me wrong. A lot of Bad Influence was the passion to explore that. But at the end of the day, my goal is to tell a story that's typically either something that I've seen in another piece of media that I think the Thomas community or the Thomas world could benefit from discussing, or something that I've experienced or I've seen other people experience. The goal is to take that and package that into the form of a Thomas story, rather than make a Thomas story and maybe we'll add some things of inspiration there. No, it's based in theme. If I had to describe my writing process as anything, it's most akin to something like a concept story or a concept musical. I just tend to write it in a linear fashion right now. What I'm writing tends to follow a strict narrative structure, but there's nothing stopping me from going more abstract with it if I wanted to, because the goal is not a traditional narrative. The goal is to hit specific themes and hit specific goals. So with James's storyline, a lot of that was based on things that I had seen, different psychological stuff that I wanted to tackle, and stuff that just felt like James and Ivo needed. If you know what I mean, there's a lot of heavy stuff there. that you could extrapolate from the canon, but is also a lot of my own doing because that's what I wanted to say with it, and so forth. I do want to get back to hold on. Which character from Bad Influence would unabashedly post their AI creations to DeviantArt? Do you have any? Who has a guess here?
I want to say like Rheneas or Duke, just because they don't understand AI, and they're just like, I asked it to make me a picture, and the funny computer did it.
I think you're right. You're dead on right about Rheneas. I think Rheneas would be the one doing that. I think Rheneas and Peter Sam would do it together, and they just wouldn't. They'd be like, "Wow, look at that."
And then Duncan's the one that's like, "This looks stupid."
Duncan would tear it to shreds. Sir Handel, I don't know what Sir Handel's opinion on it would be. I really don't. I feel like because Peter Sam's doing it, he might be a little bit more like swayed by it. He'd see like that image of like that video of that like giant AI squid, and he'd think it was real. He'd just like be like, "Oh, I'm not touching that," you know.
Grandma.
Yeah, Rheneas' grandma.
The answer is Sir Handel. That's why he deserved to go on the raft.
Yeah.
That's right, kids. If you use AI in Bad Influence, you get put on the forever boat.
You get sent to the Misty Island.
Sir Handel likes NFTs. That's kind of a different thing.
Oh no!
You put that thought
Buddy.
back where it came from, or so help me.
Duncan
I got
wants
the
to ban
crazy
AI
monkey
so
yacht.
bad.
Whatever.
Oh god.
The Bored Ape.
I got the Bored Ape Yachts Club NFT. Who wants to trade?
I'm gonna kill
that's what Sir
myself
Handel
on
would say.
stream.
I think Sir Handel uses Dogecoin.
Elon Musk, I got Dogecoin. Can
Sir
I
Handel
have
would
free
find
Twitter
Doge really
blue?
funny. Sir Handel would be in the Bad Influence premiere chat if it was streamed on Twitch, and he'd be putting in like the Pepe emojis. He'd be like, "Pepe clap." That's what Sir Handel would be doing.
You made a fucking
Guys,
Wookiee,
check
now
out
you
this
gotta
green
go on the
text.
forever parts.
Going back real quick to what May said, I just kind of want to draw attention to this line that I really like, that where James says, "Duke, he's the hero of the railway," and it's just such a poignant line because it kind of shakes Ivo's confidence even further. That like, well, Duke, he's this established guy that everybody loves.
Yeah.
So who are you to have feelings about him? And that's just something can be very personal.
Because I mean, it's crazy how far removed what do you call it? How far removed like James actually is from the Duke plotline, but at the same time, he's heard about him from Thomas, right? Because Thomas has told the stories, and so it plants a seed of doubt in Ivo's mind that Duke's reputation, like even if he gets on to like run with the big engines, even if he gets like on a transport wagon or something, and he gets to see the world through standard gauge, Duke will not be able to escape Duke. Like Duke will still pervade that. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of a really haunting moment, which is just so how shall I say? For James, it's just second nature. He's not thinking about it at all. He's not thinking of anything he's saying and how deeply it's hitting Ivo in that moment. But he's spiraling. He's definitely spiraling.
I was thinking about this a bit after the premiere had happened, but it is kind of fun how both James and Duke for Ivo are just kind of like how he interacts with celebrity culture, essentially. He's very much like, oh, I have very predetermined views on how these people are perceived by the general public, but I don't see them that way. So what the hell am I supposed to do about this?
What is interesting to me is that like when Ivo first sees James, his thought is, "Oh, are you Gordon?" Because Gordon's the person who has just been told to him. He's like, "Oh my gosh, Gordon!" And then of course he never interacts with Gordon. Gordon's not like someone who he even connects with. It's James, but James symbolizes that same spirit that Gordon does to the other engines in that moment. And later when Ivo flies and he raises up above everything, he's so far above Gordon. Like, you see Gordon down there. Gordon is living what Ivo would want to live, but now Ivo has surpassed that. Gordon is not paying attention, but Ivo is the one flying, which is, I don't know, I think that was fun to do because, again, Gordon has really a minimal role in this movie. Someone asked earlier, again, like, if I had more characters included in this movie, I would have probably tried to focus a little bit more on Gordon because of Gordon's role in James's position on Sodor, right? Which isn't really touched on much here, but I think Gordon's a really interesting character in that regard.
What does he say at the first shed scene? It's like you're in
What?
It's the Yankee line. I've been thinking about it all day.
Oh, Connecticut Yankee and King
Connecticut
Arthur's Court.
Yankee.
Connecticut Yankee and King Arthur's Court.
Yeah, that's a Mark Twain reference. That's a reference to the book of the same name, Connecticut Yankee and King Arthur's Court. That scene was originally much longer.
Sorry, I thought you were saying that was a reference to a book of the same name, Bad Influence.
Based on the rarely talked about Chris Audrey edition of Bad Influence.
Ivo, the Bad Influence engine. That was no, but then they had to cut it because the publisher was like, "No, Ivo, you can't have a personality."
That's not
why
Thomas
Little
the
Engine-
Tank Engine.
That's not the number 1 guy. We want more of him.
No, that's the number 7 guy.
7. The luckiest number.
Cholby.
Shelby, what are you doing here?
Arthur was in the background of James's old railway. Does that make him canon? I don't think so.
Who's to say? It could be.
Death of the author. Death of the author. That's what I say.
If you want Arthur to be canon, more power to you.
If you want Arthur to be canon, go out and make it happen. Petition at your local institution.
You go out and make Bad Influence to yourself.
If you make a GoFundMe, we need to raise a certain amount of money to make Arthur canon to Bad Influence.
Hi, John.
Yeah, the same amount of money that we had to, that Vincent had to spend on the room.
Oh my god.
$2 million.
$2 million in Arthur's canon.
5 trawler. Or no, 5 Cromer.
Someone's asking if you're gonna show Christopher Audrey the movie. I think it might kill him.
He's like, here, I redid your James and the Diesel Engine book. What do you think?
I also redid your new little engine book.
He just falls over.
He has a heart attack on the spot.
You say hello, he falls over.
Okay, this
He'll
actually is
fall over
a question, genuinely. Is Ivo the same deal as like Tom Rawl, where he is like an existing Barclay that was rebuilt into Ivo, or is he a completely brand new engine from new fabricated parts?
I think that he is like a brand new engine because of the fact that so much of that time of his youth, like his, the reason Ivo references culture so much, like pop culture of the time, is because so much of his time while he was being built was just like watching the TV in the works. They just had the TV up in the works, so he just would watch, like, you know, he'd watch human TV shows, and so he'd get to know it through that, which I think is really funny.
And he'd listen to Billy Joel.
Yeah, listen to Billy Joel.
Who?
The Glass Houses.
Check out Glass Houses.
Yeah, Glass Houses is a great album.
Could you imagine Ivo? He would be like, "What's that on the TV?" And they're like, "Oh, it's MTV. What do you think?" He's like, "Oh."
Ivo definitely watched MTV for sure.
Y'all think he keeps up the fandom, the fan content?
It's a non-zero chance I will have seen Rugrats.
Do you think Ivo Hugh watched iCarly?
He should have.
Well,
no, because it wouldn't have come out yet.
All right, fine, Friends.
He would.
Do you think you watched Full House? Do you watch Full House reruns in the workshop?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, he definitely watched Full House reruns.
He watched Full House, and sometimes his memories mixed up.
Listen. If there's one thing that Ivo, Hugh, and Duke have in common, it's that they've both seen the entirety of Full House.
And they can
I wouldn't take Duke for someone that could handle a full or a full TV show. He'd be like, "I can't do this. This is ridiculous."
I know
my Duke don't watch none unless it's reruns.
Duke watches Time Warner Classic. Let's be real.
Oh God, he's watching silent films.
He's watching like Harold Lloyd on the clock.
Duke was the first in line to see Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. That's a deep cut that no one's gonna get.
Was there any meaning to the consistent use of ELO, or just did it just boil down to ELO being good? I think it just boiled down to ELO being good.
What's ELO?
The Electric Light Orchestra. They did Turn to Stone, and they also did a Mission, a New World Record, and Tightrope that we used in the trailer. ELO is kind of one thing that kind of falls out of the realm of that. I think ELO just feels very Thomasy. But like in terms of the other artists, like Queen is very much James. Like Queen is James's
not the Queen.
Sorry, someone just said Chris Raji watching Bad Influence. Oh my god. I get it.
Christopher Robin watched Bad Influence. Maybe his court date would have gone better.
Oh
No.
Oh,
No.
no.
Duke reaches in his pocket. It's a little version of me, Ivo.
Ivo,
I want you to have him. And then I was like,
I don't really want this.
I don't really want this.
Who would he give it to? Peter Sam.
Die!
Peter Sam. No, Peter Sam would be the one to ask for it.
Oh, wait, Andrew's in chat.
He's dead!
Oh, shit. Hey, Andrew.
I'm very excited.
Oh my god, Andrew, hi.
Hi, bitch.
I will say that David Bowie is Ivo's kind of thing. So David Bowie kind of pervades Ivo. I mean, obviously he's used. We use it in Quicksand, where there's a little bit of that at James, but I think it's more aligned with Ivo. If we had to choose, like, Queen is aligned with James and David Bowie is aligned with Ivo, and ELO just boils down to being good.
Go listen to their character playlist on the website.
That's true. There are character playlists that are up.
Yeah, I was about to say, Meme was asking about what songs Ivo would listen to, and I just immediately directed them to the website.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Do you think at least someone in the SR knows who Shakira is?
Probably.
I think Ivo would be the only one who's aware. Oh no.
Anyone living on the SR.
I think Ivo would be the only one that would have the cognitive faculties to process Shakira.
I think Duncan could do the Macarena.
I think Rusty would tangentially know about it because his driver listens to it on occasion.
I do think the clueless workman who died would know Shakira for sure.
Matt, why?
It's Matt's child, of course.
Yeah.
I love
Matt, why did you call the workman the wokeman?
Did not call the workman the woke.
Did he die because of woke?
Of course, he has no ice cream pronouns.
When
I originally just forgot the R, and then I was like, it'd be funnier if I purposely typed Wokeman.
Not the Wokeman.
When I watch the scene, there is a loud crack. I don't think he's surviving that.
I don't think that's his
No. He cracked his ice cream case.
I've always thought it was his bone.
That's the
He never got the ice cream. It had to be his bone.
That's better.
Yeah, no, that's not his. That's not his bones. I don't think he survived that either, though. The rock hits him in the head.
Vincent, please pay to Andrew's comment right now.
Can't have workman anymore because of.
Shout out to me, Rachel.
Bro referenced West Side and then brutally died. We truly live in a society.
I think
we truly live in a society.
You can believe what you want about the Wokeman. Whatever makes you happy.
Is that just what we're going with?
Wokeman now.
His character, the Wokeman.
Someone asked.
We need to now rename the character on the Bad Inf character list on the website.
That can just be his lower third.
I can't believe you guys are gonna make me re-export the full cut again just to change the character.
No. You can make the answer any difference. When he's alive, he's a workman.
Woke ice cream.
If annotations on YouTube videos still existed,
I could. They do. Chow.
Just cover the screen.
Team woke.
No, you just gotta edit the captions. Just edit the captions automatically or by hand. Just say Wokeman.
Oh, that's true. I should upload the entire movie with captions, but have it be slightly off. So there's just a random
horrible.
Godred is alive. He's what they found under the rubble in Act 2, but no one really knew that. And then when Oldie gets taken home, that he sees Godred, and so he is alive.
But did they have to rescue him in their tidy whities?
No.
Sure. Yeah.
It's the dead of winter.
I know. Here, I wish community subtitles were still a thing.
Man, that's a crazy question, man.
How would all the main players of Bad Influence respond?
Other people should answer that. I'm not answering this one right now. I think
you wouldn't understand.
So
new thing to add to the Sir Handle account. New thread.
I would say, sure. What kind? Puppy pads?
No wait. Yeah. James would bring so many sizes and varieties.
Sir Handle
every single one they could find.
I think Chance would have a mental breakdown in the aisle and just be like, "There's too many. What do you mean?"
I feel like Chance would know exactly which ones to get because he's just a normal guy. That's his whole.
He's just a guy.
He's
from accounting.
He's from accounting.
It's Steve from accounting. That's D261.
There should be a release of Bad Influence, but the Subway Surfers at the bottom for Gen Alpha.
Yeah, this movie boring as hell.
Oh my god, we should upload all of Bad Influence in the Shorts tab, which is
do it like you're trying to like pirate Blue Mountain Mystery. You're watching like the version in 29 parts.
Oh god.
We need to now. We need to upload Bad Influences to Shorts with the Subway Surfers video underneath.
And then there's got to be that terrible music that they overlay on top of it.
What if we just
There's so many
like Family Guy, like
Family Guy funny moments?
Really funny moments.
Yeah. Cool Ice Diesel 10. God. You said you'd
Madonna.
I didn't get the right size. What do you want on the size of Ohio?
Wait, no, Garnet.
What do you mean this different sizes?
It's like James is telling like Chance like the tragic backstory, and you just hear that I'm sorry, don't leave me.
No.
There's got to be like clown music playing in one of them just to like overlay it. That's one point. Does the Skarloey Railway equivalent of Trekwan and St. Cadfin know about Skibbity Toilet? I don't.
Sometimes we don't think.
I don't think they're alive here.
I don't think. We shouldn't think.
I'm not
actually.
Welsh. They don't understand me. I don't understand them.
That's so rude to an entire group of people.
They said they couldn't
don't know how
understand
to
my
use
Californian
W's and
accent.
Ys.
They don't deserve it.
Just because they don't know how to use W's and Y's doesn't mean you have to be mean to them.
W's.
Canada.
Eyes out.
No.
Eat it like a dog.
Like I'll dispose.
Okay, will Diesel 10 and Splodge be in the second movie? A great question. We don't know. So, in your opinion, does fan content? Oh my god, I'm having a stroke. In your opinion, does fan content exist in the Thomas universe?
What fan content would have existed at the time of this movie?
None of it, I don't think, because it was the 1990s. I don't think.
Yeah, we didn't have Mad Bomber yet.
It would just be like kids drawing like their OCs and being like, "I drew you."
Wait.
Oh, there's two.
There's two of them again.
Fast forward a few years, I firmly believe they would have a group screening of Mad Bomber with Chance. And James would be like, see, this is what should have happened to you.
No, Chance
like
is
the
screen they project onto just because he's long and has enough like body width to project the movie on.
I think Ivan would get pissed at some point, being like, "Why is no one writing stories about me? What the hell?"
That's just the plot of Max's series.
So Vincent, why was there a Bad Influence car?
Because Annie made me a wonderful little custom Bad Influence van for my birthday one year. And I thought, well, I have to include it in the movie. So it's actually two places. It's at the very end in that post-credit scene. And it's at the beginning when James is passing through Knapford and he's got that van as part of his train. It would have been fun to include it more, but I don't know. It's fun. I like it. It's cute.
Thank you. I like you.
Oh.
Is there a map for Bad Influence, or is it just locations that are placed anywhere?
It's the vibes. It's
both.
The vibes.
Both. Kind of both.
Follow your spirit. Follow your gut.
There's enough geographical significance to where the places are placed in location to each other. Like, for example, like I said before, James's discovery of Sodor is meant to mirror Julie's trip from Henry's Tunnel. But I don't know if it matches up. It's a little confusing in terms of directions. I tried to abet that when I could, but Tick. Hello, my love.
Tick.
I'm used to Eagle or Winston. Well, now you got to get used to Julie.
I don't know where it came from, to be honest. I think it was just like, let's have another name for like a James sister, and Julie kind of shook out.
That's my mom's name.
It's her mom.
Oh, fun.
He'll
be a free guest.
Where's Vincent's house on the map?
Where would you live on Sodor, Vincent?
Honestly, Honestly, I would probably want to live in like a seaside town like Arlesboro. That's where I'd probably live, to be honest.
Slay.
But I love the Scarlet Railway, like the lushness of those. Pretty nice. I mean, if I'm thinking about it logistically, I mean, based on my class level, probably somewhere in Sudbury. I don't know, but I have no idea.
Your class level?
I never liked Sudbury. There was no Waffle House.
Sodor would be the only location in the UK with a Waffle House.
True. Bro.
Aww.
If anywhere has
We love you.
Yeah.
We love you.
Yeah,
We really do.
Yeah. Pick
Important
makes
question.
really cool music, guys.
Hicks makes amazing music. I'm
cool.
constantly blown away by it.
Really care.
And
Hick makes a lot of tweets.
They're so good. They're all bangers.
No, well, how bad is crime in Sudbury and cities?
I
There
mean,
is no crime.
You too can make it
Okay.
worse.
The crime varies depending on where the mail car is.
okay,
and
where do
mail
we
truck.
think? Okay, where do we think would the
That's
most
true.
crime would happen on Sodor?
Vickerstown.
Wherever Percy is.
Wherever
No, that's insurance problems, not
Percy
crime.
gets caught. Percy's the only one that's insured on the island. Everyone else is just like, well, we'll be fine, but that one we don't know.
Guys, I'm having trouble. I can't find my Greebles.
Not Greebles.
I
No,
still
I
need to
wanted to-
build my Greebles.
Sullivan, watch the movie.
that's true.
Watch the
You can
movie.
You can solve so many problems and things by actually watch the movie. It's great.
Also,
right
it's
out the
not-
time.
It's not about him, but it is. But it's not.
It's not about him, but it is, but it's not.
If
So
you guys
stop
have
doing
questions
that, please.
about that man, just watch the
No,
movie.
no. It's not about him in this moment. Is what you mean to say?
Yeah.
I got carjacked. Can't have shit in Vickerstown.
I got 2 extra Greebles if you need any. I think I'll pass, but I appreciate it.
Obviously, the most crime takes place in Kildane. Lots of
I
cults
was gonna
over
say,
there.
what about Kildane? Because I see Meme like, oh, there's only 3 cities, and I'm like, oh, but what about Kildane?
I mean,
No.
No, but
Yeah.
I think the funniest option would be like Hackenback.
not.
Damn,
Yeah, I
bro.
don't know.
It's so nothing. It'd be really fun.
Like, did you just buy this to move stock? Like, I don't know what you're doing.
I had to buy a bulletproof vest just because I lived in Dryall.
I do think the idea of the engines being like, yeah, our island's so great, and then, like a passenger just like, I got shot on the way here, dude. I don't want it.
You'll be fine. That's what the trains say.
I saw Bill Cipher at Kildane. Can't have shit in Kildane.
This is Gronk would have a mafia. I thought that said Grok. I was thinking of Elon Musk's Grok in that moment.
Yeah.
My legs were run over by another engine escaping to Sodor. Gotta get out of Vickerstown.
Sadly, everyone, I do not have Greebles on hand. I have this one. I don't know anything about
Oh,
this.
that's Honky Tonk.
No, that's not.
Now, why do you recognize it?
Vincent,
Why
tell me about this
You recognize
character.
it.
Vincent, I need your help. I need to
The
know
only
who this
Greebles I
character
have
is.
is still the unbuilt wharf scale.
I just wanted to get Greebles.
Hello, thanks for Greebles.
Here.
I don't know who
Let
this
me,
one
let me
is.
show off my
My-
Greebles real quick.
My good friend
Mine's in my
Sweeney
block.
gave me this one, which is very much not Greebles, sadly.
Geebles.
Here's my Greebles. He's still unbuilt.
Oh my god.
That's the movie I told you with.
Yeah, no.
Is
I
it?
don't have-
Oh, yeah.
One of these days. One of these days.
Knapford sucks. I just got sunk into a marshland. I might not be able to finish this tit. Oh,
That's
I
not
can't roll.
Whoa!
One of these days.
What?
One of these
Gauge-
days I'll actually put it
Gauge
together.
1 Greebles, Gauge 1 Greebles.
No, this is warp scale. This is too big for gauge 1.
Damn
That's
it.
so beautiful.
Arguably funnier though, because like here's a gauge 1 Thomas compared to Greebles.
Oh
Not
my
bigger.
god.
It's just a very large
Happy
Greebles.
birthday, Percy the Small Engine Studios.
Oh, hooray, hooray.
And a
It's
pack
great to
scale
be a
Thomas and a
Greebles, I
warp
would
scale
say.
Greebles.
Great to be an engine. It sucks to be Shank.
Yes.
I need that on like a t-shirt or like a button, just a badge.
Annie, I got a job for you.
I'll do it. I'll
No,
do
do you
it.
guys know that like behind the scenes video of like those guys who were building like Thomas Land
and they had like the Bachmann models as reference to make the full-size trains.
I do remember that, yeah.
That's what I need to make larger Greebles. I need to get like an actual like mini Greebles so I can study it.
Baby
So I can make
Greebles.
I can make big Greebles.
Bubble loader on top. What?
Bubble loader on
No,
top.
this is Grobbles.
How do I turn my camera around? No, that didn't work.
There's a button.
You're disconnected. Oh, there you are. You're not. I don't know why.
You hate me.
I can't turn my camera around, but chat, this is what I got recently.
Ooh, nice.
Oh my
So
god.
how's life like with just one liver then?
No, this was actually like $30, so I think I'm good.
Wait, did you buy one I saw on eBay the other day?
What?
Wait, was that on eBay?
No, this was on the funny proxy site.
Juice.
Not that one, the other one.
I know.
The other one.
I'm out here getting this.
Anything else interesting that I have?
We should probably, I don't know, let's say, should we wrap it up in like a half hour from now?
Yeah.
I'd say
No,
so.
we watched the entirety of the movie again, and that's when we wrap it up.
No, I think we're at this point, we are almost the same length as the movie, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Oh, we are. Oh, wow.
Well, we will be.
Wow.
When we finish.
You could have left the entirety of Bad Influence on in the background while watching this stream, and
What, like Subway
know.
Surfers?
yeah.
Just like
There's probably points. If you watch this stream at the same time as Bad Influence, there may be a possibility that we are talking at the exact same moment that the same thing is happening on screen.
So anyway, D261 almost dies right now. Like, right now.
What?
He almost gets murdered at about this point in the movie.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, no, I think that's, probably.
The set builder of Bad Influence versus Enterprising, who's winning in a build-off.
Enterprising, I think, has more at his disposal to just keep building. Like, he's the type of kid that would just keep building and building and building and building.
Keep building.
And I feel like I would stop after a point, you know?
Yeah.
It's all about drive. It's all about power.
They are not hungry and will not devour.
Make a rapper.
You're right.
I'm sorry.
Deep cut.
That's funny.
That's a deep cut.
TD Productions is simultaneously happening as Duke is telling Ivo Hughes should have been aborted. Hello.
Whoa! No.
For those who know, does he know?
Does he know?
This has to be a reference. There's no way.
No, that's definitely a reference. That person definitely knows.
Yeah. I'll support I.
What is that?
It's his name tag.
Yeah, what Meme said was accurate.
Animal.
When did I finish filming the last scene I need for the movie, for the whole movie? I guess I didn't need it, but that, like we said, that Misty Island credit scene was filmed. Not to say it was the Tuesday before, but it wasn't. It was the Monday before. I want to add that extra day. It was the Monday before the premiere.
Oh wait, the premiere was like last week right now.
Yeah.
Oh my
It was a week ago right now.
About a week ago.
No.
Does Kid Finger exist in the Dad Influence canon?
Yeah.
The Dad Influence?
Yeah,
That's what they said.
Daddy influence.
On the real, will you ever make shorter stories that take place in the same realm or canon, or will we keep things separate? Yes.
I will say that it is like my tendency with like shorter stories is like, okay, I'm gonna make them a separate thing, but then it gives me less motivation to do them, because if I try something into Bad Influence, then I'm like, oh well, I'll keep going with it.
Well, now it has to be a whole movie.
You can add the
Yeah, it has to be a whole
lore.
thing. I mean, to me, the most important thing with Bad Influence is making something within the Bad Influence canon is keeping the same kind of thematic goals, right? And obviously, they can be expanded a lot. But if I'm writing, I don't know, the consistency there of like what makes it as part of the canon.
I can hear it.
Based on, I mean, I think Bad Influence as it stands, it's kind of an anthology series like property. So if I do more with it, it won't be the same type of thing necessarily. But yeah, I guess the answer is yeah, sure.
So what I'm hearing is we can have bad influence tuba wheel moments.
Tuba wheel, like from Infinity
Tuba,
Train?
perhaps.
Not a real incident.
Tuba,
you
you take me.
do you mean when Neville pushes Tuba onto the wheel?
Oh.
And Tuba dies?
No, I mean when Diesel got shattered.
That's Steven Universe.
How many Easter eggs are in Bad Influence? Because I don't want to check. Hey, buddy, you gotta find them if you want to see them.
I don't know what constitutes an Easter egg anymore. Like, I'm sure that in this generation, there's people who find plot details and are gonna be like, "Oh, that's an Easter egg."
You're gonna find stuff he forgot existed.
You're gonna find stuff
like,
that I forgot existed.
At him every time when you do this.
Like, I put it. Well, Young Tucker is pretty obvious. Young Tucker is very clear Easter egg in there. But
Is there a handle on Bulstrode's corpse? I don't think so. Oh, the no comment is killing me.
an Easter egg.
He can be the right spirit.
Is Elmo in Bad Influence? I don't know. Was Sesame Street alive?
yeah,
So?
Sesame Street right back to like the 70s.
Oh, does it work?
Damn.
Work.
Does it work?
Real ones out here don't know Sesame Street history.
Not like you do, King.
How does the handle get back to Sodor? He didn't. He's stuck there forever. He's never coming back.
Is Misty Island a province of Sodor?
I like to think so.
I mean, no, because if it was, they'd know where to get Joby Wood in the movie.
Misty Island is in fact just another island.
Yeah,
wow.
No, it is forgotten more.
Shut up!
No, I mean, am I
That's
wrong?
really good. No,
No,
you
That's
cook.
so stupid. Shut up.
no, because if Misty Island is a province, then either A, Sir Topham's just like, well, what am I gonna do about it? Because it has to be like taught in universe. You can't just ignore that you have an entire separate island that you province.
You also have to keep in mind in this hypothetical, Sir Topham Hatt's not like the governor of Sodor.
No,
This
but
isn't
like
his
think about no, but think about it. It's like the equivalent of being like, well, we can only source this one thing from Alaska. Are we in charge of Alaska? Who's to say? And you're just like, well, if we were, we could just do that.
This is such a not comparison.
I mean, I compared Misty Island to Alaska all the time.
Let's get Joey Wood. Oh, dang it.
Misty Island was originally a
Let's get
prison
Joby
colony,
Wood.
but they later
Oh,
abandoned
dang
it
it.
and started shipping
Oh,
the
dang
criminals
it.
to Australia. This is just Australian history.
Misty Island being a prison colony, that's just Mr. MPS's old show.
This is just Australia.
Oh, that brings back memories.
Misty
Sodor's
Island
Australia?
is unfortunately canon. That happened to be the one thing that I stated with my movie was that Misty Island was canon, and now we have.
You're telling me you canonized Misty Island before you canonized Emily or Lady?
It will keep happening. It will keep happening,
And it'll happen again.
See how it is.
Misty Island is worse than the Bronx.
I disagree.
What's wrong with the
plans
Bronx?
reestablished trade routes to and from Misty Island. Thanks, May.
Anything can happen in the Bronx.
My free
Joby Wood card expired today. Guess we can't finish the rescue center.
It's all gone, but Jimmy gets shipped to Misty Island. Oh no.
Okay, question. Do they want to end this like right on the 8th?
I didn't say anything about that, but
Like, I heard
I'm open.
Something like half an hour, and like that's close enough, nice even
I
spot.
did say half an hour at 8:45 to leave a window if we needed to, but I don't want to explain my reasoning because if I get an out, I'll take an out. So speed run.
So last like
Don't
7
get-
questions.
Does
Maybe.
anyone have anything that they desperately need answered in this stream?
I don't want my bad influence to get old.
Unfortunately, it was
Remember,
just
guys,
born.
use
so
the
now it's
hashtag I Got Influence 2024. Post it all over your social medias.
Eggman blew up the island of Sodor. I've come to
again.
make an announcement. Duke.
Period.
+2, John.
Does anyone have a question for Andrew? That's so.
Andrew, I have a
That's the voice of
question.
James.
Let's do.
Why? Just why? Why, Andrew? Why?
Do it chuff when James puffs? Hello?
That's so much.
Why not?
But why, Andrew? Why?
Who are the engines that terrorize you?
They're the old.
You know exactly why not.
The Midsodor engines are coming back from the dead.
Can we get a scene where
zombies.
Diesel's about to fall off the bridge in Misty Island Rescue and Sir Handle's just on the route floating?
Is there a McDonald's on Misty Island? I don't know. Could McDonald's thrive on Misty Island?
Do it chuff when James puffs. That's horrid.
The next person to chat owes me all 206 of their bones. Uh-oh.
How about I have 207?
Oh.
Slime, I think you have bones that you owe.
McDonald's cannon.
Yes, Andrew did add the hench tanker bit. Yeah.
We love a henge tanker reference.
My favorite thing that Andrew made canon, even though it didn't make it to the cut, is that Twit Longer is in fact canon to Bad Influence.
Wait, can I make a small funny thing reference?
No.
What are you asking a question?
Like, would y'all mind if I make a reference to something out of Bad Influence?
Yes.
I'm terrified as to what this is because it's been given so much pre. Go for it.
So fun thing, you know the trailer I showed for the film fest.
Yes.
Yikes.
And there's that one tanker in there, right?
Yeah, good tanker. Good looking tanker.
That was a hench tanker with Andrew's line.
Oh my god.
Let's go.
That was an intentional choice.
That's amazing. I love that.
Why so devious?
What if the Joker could beatbox?
Shut up.
Yeah,
What if the Joker
could beatbox?
What if instead of Bad Influence it was Brain Rot Influence and the engines instead watched Talk to a Ate Lunchly and listened to it? I like my cheese drippy, brah.
All right, good night.
Good night. Bye.
It's done.
We're finished.
It's not about the Joby Wood. It's about sending a message.
Insane.
Not about the Joby Wood. It's about sending a message.
Paxton is canon to the DC universe as the Joker. Hello.
No. Paxton is Lex Luthor.
Paxton as Lex Luthor.
Oh, hey, Milan. Very short timing.
It's Milan.
I am happy. Phenomenal production.
Boxing McGrath is funny.
I love that Go character.
Okay, for everyone asking if Sir Handel makes it back to the island, you have to write how he gets back.
Yes, it's time for you to make Bad Influence fanfiction.
Write it, do it. To put it on AO3.
We'll make it a competition. Whoever writes the best story to get Sir Handel back to the island, it'll be canon.
It's like KO Train's Crash compilation. You write the best one, we'll pick it.
It'll be as canon as the best James Chance Toxic Yaoi fanfiction.
Whoever writes the best Bad Influence fan fiction gets to pick a scene in Enterprising Engine 93's next Crashes and B-roll video.
Okay.
It'll be tight.
To make that offer.
I think we can make it happen.
That's something we could actually make happen, probably.
Yeah. Unless someone asks for like Neville crashing into the ice cream factory, crashing into Molly, into the chocolate factory, crashing into Diesel 10's claw, crashing into the aquarium cars, crashing into the scrap monster, crashing into Molly, crashing into Dennis, crashing into freshly ground earth.
Crashing into Jerma.
An impossible situation.
Eeyore and all of his Simpson wives watching.
Lux, why are you lying down?
Because it just took me out. Okay, yeah, Vincent, competition. We make everyone write their own Sir Handel get back, and that's what we're doing.
Yeah, sure. What's the
winner? Okay, the guidelines is it has to be within, what's a good amount of time?
10 hours.
No.
Scooby-Doo.
It has to be at minimum 3 hours.
No, it has to be.
Is Jacob Jarrett canon?
No, also Toxic Yaoi is always encouraged.
Toxic Yaoi, yeah, it's not suggested. It is encouraged. Please.
It's a necessity.
I love
Okay,
toxic
so
yaoi.
okay, the competition. The the clip can be up to 15 minutes long.
No, it has to be
You made it a
17 minutes.
video now. Now you made it a video.
Oh no.
Now it has to be this. Yes, it has
No,
to
it's
be a
like the
video.
old. It's like
What's
the old
the
crash.
word?
It's like the old crash compilation contests video, like the one Caleb Train made like 10 years ago.
Oh yeah.
That's what you gotta do for
Hawkman
Fernando.
Duck.
The winner gets a screen used piece of the burning bridge.
Yay!
Yeah.
We only got 1-inch segments. We need the rest
It'd
of
be
it
easy
to
to
be
fake that. It'd be so easy to fake that. I could just like burn wood and just like send it off.
Would James watch
you know
What's
what
New Scooby Doo?
They're doing
Would he
with
sing
moss.
along?
Like, they're just going out there buying moss and they're just selling it for $30. They can just do that with the burnt bridge.
Okay, kids, if you are able to write a good ending for Sir Handel for Bad Influence, I want you to try.
I didn't know that the Sir Handel was gonna affect people this much.
No, everyone really wants to
No,
know.
right?
I think that this is like
Everyone needs him to be okay.
this is something to bring up in therapy. I don't know.
Vincent, you think anyone on the stream is going to therapy?
You can
I
win.
like
yeah,
my
you
Sir
can win.
Handel fan of Drippy, bro.
I didn't know we had so many Sir Handel shooters in the chat. It's insane.
I want the water from the river under the bridge in a little cup. Aww.
It's probably
Yeah,
River Girl
I
bathwater.
I already drank it.
Sir Handel Gamer Girl bathwater. That's
Oh.
something.
Too late.
You know,
Too late. I drank it all.
that is a terrible, great, horrendous note to end
Okay.
off on.
Also, for the bad influence, for Sir Handel's return to Sodor, the logging locos have to speak. That is non-negotiable. They have to speak.
Say something.
All 3 logging locos need to survive till the whole thing. You cannot just kill them off.
You can't kill them.
You can't
You
kill
can't
them.
kill them. They have to stay alive.
Mm-hmm.
15-minute video telling us how you think Sir Handel.
You can't kill them in a way that matters.
It's just a 15-minute video of him being slowly towed in by a super long cable.
No. It's Peter Sam the Winch.
And just in the distance, it's just Ferdinand going, "That's right."
It's GoPro.
No,
footage of,
point-
like, it's a GoPro on like a little boat in the water being slowly towed through the lake.
Bonus points if you include the Lion of Sodor for whatever reason.
Oh my god, Sodor's persona.
That's the first thing Sir Handel sees when he comes back
That's
to
like the
Sodor. It's
Statue of Liberty, but for
Liberty.
Sodor.
Yeah, thank you, Garnet. Same wavelength.
I think, yeah.
Hi,
Yeah.
Thomas. I don't know how long you've been watching the stream for.
It's
but hi.
time. It's time to
Say hey,
wrap up.
Thomas.
We have to have dinner.
Dinner time.
Mhm.
And
I
now
need to go
for
check it.
ingredients.
All right.
Fun-
Thank you
fun
guys
live
for coming out. This has
Mhm.
been such a fun time. I'm excited to talk more about the movie with you guys in the coming weeks and days. And I just thank you for being here. It's been a long. Thank you,
Andrew, you did great. You need to call D261 a slut again. Do it again.
Oh god.
Mac and cheese tip for them.
Ooh.
Oh, true. Yeah. All right. Any closing words? Thank you, Milan. Oh, bye. Any closing words?
Closing words. James.
PayPal me your skin.
Hit me up if you need voice acting. I already
Thank you guys
plugged earlier.
Thank you guys so much for coming out. If you have any other questions, leave it in the comments or at anyone, probably.
If you have any other
Don't add
questions,
us. Don't add us.
Do not
Put it in the
do
comments.
not go to my
I'm
doorstep.
so proud of this
I will
guy.
not stop writing people
Aww.
ever.
The
Yeah.
couple's at it again.
They just released a movie. Let them be happy.
They did it last week.
They released it to the public. That was a private
movie. No,
Oh,
right.
it's out now.
I didn't do nothing.
I love movies.
All right.
Thank you so much for coming out,
Bye.
everyone.
Hope you're influenced.
Goodbye, everyone.
Dreamers life.
Bye.
Oh.